on the troll.
Hello and welcome to Mzansi. We're back again. It's that time of the night, and we're sorry we could have started at maybe 1:45, but this technology just decides anytime. I'm not sure, Emily, if we have a load shading here. We do.
I haven't checked.
Because I'm making sure so that we don't have to suffer later on. Yes. And if that is the case, we can always fix it now.
It says it's going to happen at 4 a.m., so we're good for now.
We're good for now. Don't think we're going to reach 4 a.m. So, right, greetings to everyone. And I'm hoping that everyone is kind of enlightened by what happened in court towards the end. More so, kudos to Mngomezulu for assisting the court in the right way. Not Mngomezulu, Mnisi.
Advocate
Mnisi Wemvula. We thank people like that. People who are genuinely assisting the court, not looking to trick people, as Mnisi would have put it, in a very, very right way, coming from someone who at some point was standing in a position where Sibanda is standing with Baloyi. The experience comes in both ways, as a defense, also as someone who at some point was a prosecutor working under MPA. Chose the right side. You chose the right side to represent people who are wrongly accused. In this case, for now, I think I liked how you diffuse everything after so much work in trying to create a certain narrative, in my own opinion, which was not assisting court in any case.
We did tell you about Sibanda. We did. All the signs are there. They were there. And now, today, he was on steroids because Advocate Baloyi was next to him. And for every question, he kept
listening to Baloyi. Yes.
Every question today.
We noticed that.
Might as well just do it himself. I don't even understand why he's putting Sibanda in the hot fire like this. Might as well just cross-examine himself.
It would be crime for me not to mention Caroline Ushuona. I'm representing Namibia.
Hi, Caroline.
Hi, Namibia.
Hi,
and
Caroline.
Hi, Caroline. Is it Carolina? Yeah, Carolina.
Hi, Carolina.
Yes.
From Namibia.
From Namibia.
All the way from Namibia.
Emily.
Welcome to Mzansi Reality.
Yes. Welcome, and I'm sure he's part of the people that maybe we don't normally call out, but seemingly she is not a newcomer here. Okay, Emily, just take us through the first pain, because I would say it's a first pain because what was happening is what has been happening for the past 3 to 4 days. I don't know. Let us go through that pain and then finish that pain, and then obviously we will enter to something that looked more like court today.
So Advocate Baloyi came with the Tlhabane court transcripts this morning, presenting them as a new exhibit. And Baloyi said that they indicated the dates where there were no transcriptions. So it means even from these court transcripts, there are some transcripts that are not there. So information will not be there, it will not be fully there.
Yes.
Because it's not fully transcribed. So Ramusipili said that since this was a new document and new information, considering that his learned colleague was going to pursue this in the cross-examination, and they have not yet had time to consult with a witness pertaining to this, being mindful as well that he's under oath, therefore they were barred from consulting with him. And he said that he'd seek a directive from the court, and the judge asked, who said you were barred? Because if you are barred, it means you'll never never consult with your client with him ever again. And Ramusipili said, if he's on the stand now, can we consult with him because he's under oath? And the judge said it's fine. How many years does he need? And I found this to be quite shady. I mean, why do you mean like how many years do they need? Well, Ramusipili said 10 minutes, 10 years. He said, the judge is like 10 years. So they took a 30-minute adjournment. Cross-examination from Sibanda was expected to continue thereafter, and the records that involved the appearance of disputed lawyer Senzo Mjiyako, who was allegedly representing Ntanzi in all those Rustenburg court appearances. And they are going to unpack them later. So Sibanda said that he will start with the 24th of June. After that adjournment, he came back, reading the record that on the 6th of November 2023, Sergeant Mogani testified that Mr. Mjiyako came and introduced himself as Ntanzi's lawyer, and Ntanzi confirmed and produced a card similar to the one police usually carry. His profile says that he was a police captain at the time, remember, Mr. Anonymous, and to say that he produced a similar card to the one police officers usually carry.
Wait, who's that?
Mjiyako.
So he produced the police card?
A card similar to the ones police officers carry. I remember Brigadier Kininda saying that, but I just brushed it off. I said, maybe lawyers also go around with cards. But now, today, I just got reminded of it, and I'm like, ding, 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 ding. I mean, why would he carry a card that is similar to that of police officers? And yesterday, remember going through his profile, we found
it
out
sort
that
of
he was a
suggested
police
that
captain.
yes, he could have been part of the police. That's what it suggested, and obviously that is our opinion.
And then this similar card, similar to the one police officers carry.
Which is now aligning to what we are thinking, maybe.
Then Sibanda had put it that Ntanzi is the one who produced the card, but Advocate Baloyi whispered to him and he corrected it to say that Mjiyako is the one who produced that card, not Ntanzi. But the way he corrected him, you guys, was very arrogant. It is like it's Ntanzi's fault while it's his fault. He didn't read it properly, you know. And Ntanzi said that no, he never met him. He only saw him first time on the 24th.
Yes.
Sibanda whispered to Baloyi again.
Baloyi whispered to Sibanda.
They whispered to each other. But every time before he would ask a question.
Do you approve? Something like that. Do you approve?
Yeah, well, every time before he would ask a question. I'm like, oh my goodness, no. So yes, speaking on the 24th of June, he was at the Boksburg court. Okay, he was still speaking on the Boksburg court appearance of the 24th of June. Sibanda said that this part he read was not disputed. And Ntanzi said, I won't be able to answer that question because I already explained that there are many things being said in court. And Sibanda said, let us just go back to the time you said you were assaulted at that area at Orlando next to those ATMs. You indicated that you were bleeding through your nose.
Yes.
And Ramusipili stood to object that a mischaracterization of evidence, the bleeding through the nose, happened at the dumping site, not at Orlando. Sibanda said that he was quoting the initial version. And Sibanda said, did you have any blood
He's been
stains?
doing that. Wherever they were corrected, wrong, Sibanda was going back to that.
But I'm glad today, abaphela ngumoya, they tried their best to object. Usibanda ufuna object. Don't let him like be comfortable. He's making everybody exhausted.
He's easily distracted. I saw that when he was dealing with Mnisi. I think he paged a lot of pages to show that a lot of questions that were not helping, in my own opinion, were still gonna come.
Hey, Zaf. You better over the cross-examination.
I'll put to Lutlani.
Woo! Hey, Safa, Kosam. Yeah, hi, gay. Well, Sibanda then said, did you have any blood stains on the clothes that you were wearing? And Ntanzi said that my t-shirt was taken by my banner. If he had not taken it, I would be showing it to the court because the jacket, they had taken it off, which was a sale. Well, Mr. Interpreter said silky, but it's not necessarily silky. Sale means that fabric from what do we call a dry mag, you know, that fabric that's kind of like how do I describe it? It's like a raincoat, but it's not a raincoat.
Like a reflector.
Yeah, like a reflector. The material
That
used for
material.
reflector jackets. Yes, that's a sale. That's what he meant. But the interpreter got it wrong then, said silky. It's not silky. So according to Ntanzi's version, they definitely knew what they were doing, in my opinion. You know, all of these movements, all of these moving, you know, all of it definitely gives the vibes that they knew how to cover their tracks, in my opinion. Okay, they knew.
Well, if experience is anything that you gain, and looking at the cases that they have dealt with, the ones we know, the ones we don't know, yeah, you would assume they know how to deal with these things, and mostly they are trained also. Yeah, I mean.
Well, Sibanda said, let's go back to that steel place where you said you were assaulted and bleeding through the nose. Was there blood on your clothes? And Ntanzi said, that is why I said Mabena took my t-shirt. If he didn't take it, I would have shown it to the court. So Mabena took this t-shirt that had blood.
And unfortunately,
he's passed on. He's resting.
Easy. Let's continue.
Sibanda then said, you said you were wearing a vest underneath. Did it have blood? And Ntanzi said that if that Fabiani t-shirt was here, he would have been able to show how exactly. And there is no way it wouldn't be able to go through to the vest. So he was trying to say that Fabiani t-shirt is light, you know. It's light, it's not a thick fabric. The blood could have protruded to the white vest that he was wearing underneath. And in fact, he's saying it did protrude to the vest.
Yes.
So Sibanda then said, let's move the evidence of Colonel Rapad, move on to the evidence of Colonel Rapad on the 27th of October 2023. And this was during the court interacting with the witness. Well, I was like, okay, the court, I was trying to figure out what does he mean, the court interacting with the witness. And then I remembered, the judge interacting with the witness. And then he read and it said the court said, and I quote, no, but I'm concerned about IPID because those are the authorities, are the ones who investigate such grievances. Is that not so? And Rapadu said, that's correct, my lord. So this is the part where our honorable judge put in his 2 cents while Colonel Rapadu was done with the cross-examination to add that arrowmet of IPID in there to say that IPID investigates. Did there were any complaints coming from IPID? Sibanda was using it today. And you all say we have a problem with the judge, we must leave him alone. There's still people who would come, especially around this time.
Yes. Yes.
When we saw that there's something wrong with this, and then now Sibanda, whenever you want to support,
using some of the things that he's actually saying.
They are using them, definitely.
They put them, they embed them in their cross-examination or when they are leading.
Yes, they do. They take, and it's a beautiful experience for them. The defense doesn't have anything like this.
They become like those kids that when you're taught by the teacher, maybe they are teaching you something.
Yes.
That you need to do on your own way. But you know those ones who refuse to be innovative.
They copy
they
exactly as it
They
is.
just do few stuff and then embed the concept that was made an example.
Yes.
They do that
Yes.
a lot
Yes.
to please, and that also obviously, as a person who's marking, you'd be pleased that
Someone is listening to you.
they are using your strategy. You'd feel that these people admire you, so you would probably give them more marks. We've seen lectures like that, right?
Yes.
If someone uses an example that was used in a class, they feel like that
Yes.
person was attentive.
Yes.
If you use a different example with the same concept, you get less marks.
Well, then Rapadu said that that's correct, reading from the court transcript. He said it was never reported. He did not complain to me that he was assaulted. I even took off his clothing. I should have seen marks on his body. Ntanzi said that he did not ask him questions. Okay. He said, then I was stunned where he says on my body that I did not undress in front of him. So now he's saying that he's stunned that Colonel Rapadu had to mention that he had to undress in front of him, while that never happened, according to Ntanzi's version. So in my head and my own speculation, I'm thinking, so Rapadu admitted to undressing Ntanzi while he was the independent party that Brigadier Kininda contacted to come take a confession. So during his confession session, he was making Ntanzi undress. Am I missing something here? Why did he undress him? According to his version. But Ntanzi saying that never happened. Ntanzi saying that never happened. Remember how we were also spotting this obsession of wanting to prove that Ntanzi never got injured, never had any injuries.
Yes.
Now Rapadu, this thing is coming up again under this cross-examination, and it's making me very suspicious.
Yeah.
That why would someone who is sent to take a confession go all the way above and beyond and undress a person who they are taking a confession from?
That's why I say they do more. They do more. Theirs is to question.
Yes.
To say
Get the
that,
story.
are you sober and no one coerced you? Simple as that. And whatever the answer is given there, they write that answer down.
Yes.
Right?
What are you doing undressing him and looking for injuries?
You have no business in undressing people. You are not a doctor.
And what
starters.
made you think I have to look for injuries?
That's where they give away. Small things, ne? That's what I'm saying. Small things are important. Small details. If I was to be a judge, that's how I would judge. I would look at these small details. The cohesion of how things happen.
Yes.
The spontaneousness of all these things happening, and someone jumping and doing something extraordinary to come and have the answer that is similar to the investigator and everyone else. I would definitely kick the case out in my court. I would do that, because to show that you were working and there was no working together. Small things must not align properly. They must align because you're applying law, but this smooth transition of you are taking off someone's clothes and then you go extra mile. You're supposed to only check teeth, whether there was ever a gold tooth or not. What business do you have checking someone's stomach and checking all these other things? Then from there, it is clear that the story is scripted, in my own opinion.
Yes.
And
we are using script because the state is relying on writing.
Yes.
Writing. Kuri kuyabhalwa, kubusy, kuyabhalwa. Writings, that's all they have. You understand? And now that you're raising this point as well, it's also with regards to Ntanzi's testimony, where everyone is bashing him. The ones who've been waiting to bash him, they came out of the woodworks today, and they are saying that, oh, he's guilty. Why did he lie about such a little thing? No, his testimony is looking rather normal in my opinion.
Yes, because it's not perfect.
You can't remember everything perfect to the T, especially if you were not writing it down. Yes, did he get some of the things wrong? Yes, he was going to get them wrong. He appeared in court multiple times without knowing or being told where he was going according to his version. Worse, he was tortured on top of that, allegedly. Worse, they were just waking him up in the middle of the night. We're going here and here, we're going somewhere. And when he said that the police stations, they would make me arrive late at night, how was I supposed to know I'm at this police station? Worse, he doesn't even reside in Gauteng. How was he supposed to know, okay, now I'm at Moot police station, now I'm at Pretoria police station?
I've never been in Cape Town. Right?
Yes.
Can you imagine me being arrested in Cape Town, going around Cape Town places?
I can imagine. You are new to the area.
Being
you
new.
do not know exactly.
The only thing I rely on is a board written.
A GPS.
If there's something.
A Google map.
No. You are arrested, you don't have those things.
You don't have those things.
I'm just saying you only rely on. I saw a building that.
At a board.
I saw a building that was red. If that building is changed to pink today, then obviously my theory could be said to be a lie.
Which is what's happening to Ntanzi.
Some of the things have changed.
Yes, and they should have. He's been how
some
long?
Of these things happened 2020. This is an industrial area.
Yes.
Things change. We're building malls. We are doing.
Built.
Yes.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So people are like, oh no, he's contradicting himself. Trust me, those contradictions are not as heavy as you think, or they didn't hurt his testimony in a way you would like if you really want him to go down. In my opinion.
You've once told a member for 5 months, thank you for being a loyal member. And we saw a new member, I think it's just gonna get the name. Ketelo Kumalo. Thank you.
Thank you, Ketelo Kumalo.
For joining us.
For joining the membership. We highly appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yes, guys.
So, all I'm saying is that when it's too perfect,
something is wrong.
There's something wrong with that. There is no way you do your job perfectly.
To the T.
To the T.
You understand?
There is no way. There is no way.
Something
at some point must not align.
Yeah.
You can't just have
an individual.
You can't just have
you
this 100%.
And your colleague cannot do the same thing, the same way, the same process, the same
No. Somewhere, somehow, someone is gonna just be a bit lazy.
And just spontaneous. Try something different.
And just cut corners.
Exactly.
A simple thing. Someone might wake you in the morning and read you your rights and all that. Someone else is just gonna come and say, baby's got a bad day from home, take you to where they're supposed to take you. I'm just making an example. It can be. I mean, this is SAPS.
Yes.
Which country are we living on? This is not America with cameras. No, this is SAPS. This is South Africa.
Yes, it's South Africa. Okay. So Baloyi again whispered to Sibanda that day, and he came back with a question and asked him, when you arrived at Kennel Rapadu, do you have that stained t-shirt as well? And Ntanzi said, I believe the t-shirt was underneath as I was dressed. It was during winter and it was cold. I would never show him because he was there when I was getting assaulted.
Yes.
When I was getting assaulted, there's nothing that he was doing to help me.
And look at how lazy sometimes I think Sibanda is. By Ntanzi saying that this man never did anything shame, he literally translates that to being a good cop. right? But if the person was a good cop, the person was going to take actions, right?
Yes.
I'm not saying he's a bad cop or he's a good cop. All I'm saying is that if he was different from, maybe let me put it like this, if he was different from the group, he might not be eager to do things, but he was part of the group according to Ntanzi. And he never said anything other than loyal and demand, and it ended there.
You're talking about Bongani there. No, Rapad. I don't think he
and
accused him.
Rapad. All I'm saying is that, I was talking to this other policeman. You know what he says? He says, when they select who they are gonna buddy with in this work in the SAPS, normally
Partner with.
Yeah. They look at whether you're a straight ruler. They call it a straight ruler.
I mean, you're disciplined.
That's a disciplined person. They don't want that. At some point, you must be willing to bend the rules. Do you understand?
I understand.
So, says someone who at some point would work there or works there. They don't want someone who also perfect.
Would want to
Because
follow the rules.
one of these
by the book.
we're gonna find a box full of money. And then when are you gonna want to report it all?
Yes.
You know?
That's the right
And
thing.
Bonade, you're gonna be thinking, this is God giving us gift. Let us take 70% of this and report 30%.
Yeah, ne?
Things like that do happen.
They do.
So, the fact that you did not take anything does not exonerate you just because you said you don't want to take anything, but you did not report it. And that's your duty.
Yeah, ne?
Yes. So, all these people who were present, if these things happen, the way Ntanzi narrates them, it does not make them angels.
No, they're not.
No. Their job is to make sure that every law that is available is applied to the T. And if that is not the case, then you have done something wrong.
Utlwa Sibanda ati, this fact was never disputed by your advocate. And I'm like, it's not a fact. It's Colonel Rapadu's version.
Yes.
It's his side of the story.
When you look at
Doesn't
the line
make
of
it a fact.
when you look at the line of questioning, and perhaps one would need to look at how the case is created at some point, and the involvement of MPA, therefore, which obviously at some point, instead of defending the law, they could find themselves defending the decisions they made by accepting a certain case. Do you understand? It's in front of them. So now it's no longer trying to help that thing is there. But I don't think, in all honesty, that thing is ever applied. Once you take the case, you are already biased. You can never assist court in anyhow.
No.
You will fight your own dirty in your own dirty way, and if you win, that's good for you and good for your ego. And law is always about ego.
Well, it is.
Who can argue the best? Who
can
understands
argue
this
the best?
law the best?
Who
Even
can-
here,
who can
we
speak
get
the
the
better
so-called
English?
lawyers coming here and telling us, you guys don't know anything.
You don't know anything is not enough. And it's not going to make me stop caring either way. So bring your facts, bring your arguments.
All I'm saying is that thing of we must assist the court
Yes.
it simple says that we must find a way of arguing our ways, and whoever win may win. Whether it was done ethically or what, it doesn't matter.
But right now it's giving in this trial, it's giving let's neutralize the defense counsel.
Yes.
It's giving, let's neutralize them. Let's stop them from doing their job. Because I'm thinking the level of cross-examination that was needed with these particular witnesses, the ones who, it wasn't allowed. It was blocked. It was, if they were given this grace that Sibanda was given, where would we be now?
If you ask me, in my own opinion, I believe that for this so-called law to work a bit better, there must be an independent division that looks at the cases that are created by these investigators. That is not linked in any way direct to government.
Yes.
Someone
was even
or it should be like, the issue of politics. There's political side and there's bureaucracy. Obviously, we know bureaucracy is never listened to most of the time. It's rare cases where if they come with their PhD in economics and suggest certain things, they are listened to. Decisions are mainly influenced more by politics. So those people must decide. So if this case, for example, if there was 375 and there was 636, and then there was a group sitting there,
yes,
they listened to this case being presented by this investigator. This is the evidence I have. This is what 1, 2, 3 that I've done. I'm telling you, 636 was never going to make it. Because 636 was never complete. It was never complete, not even halfway. It was just 10% or even 5%. We see it changing colors as we go.
And it still doesn't refer much.
It moved from
to
DNA.
The original.
It moved from DNA. It moved from now a bullet. It went now to confessions.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. That's how not reliable is that case. It's not reliable. It's not a case that has a structure for me. It does not have a structure.
Nope. You can see for yourself, guys, what's going on.
Statements are shredded. New statements come in. They are typed.
In 2018,
something is questioned. A new document comes in. It's a mess. And we're not saying that cases should not be investigated while they are being...
It hasn't been placed. They haven't placed them at the scene. Or maybe it's going to happen at the trial.
They cannot. What are they going to use to place them at the scene?
There's nothing that places.
They came with the cell phone records that says that accused number 5 called and
Kelly Kumar.
We have seen the same theory on a different case being taken out.
Which case is that?
That case of, who's it? The guy who allegedly. The case that we covered here. Bafana.
Oh, Bafana.
Yes.
Maungela.
Yes, that issue of we could see you were connecting on Sentin towers and whatnot.
That thing tried it.
Yeah.
They even tried it. No, Bafana's lawyer was not having that.
Can you imagine our investigators are relying on such things?
This thing is not accurate. It places you near. It doesn't place you exactly at the destination. So it was very interesting how he quickly was like, we can't be relying on such in 2024. Even he didn't want it.
So do you see what we are facing here?
It doesn't have...
We are facing people who are creating a case that would come to court depending on the fact that there was a bit of connection on a certain tower around Joburg. just because of that, therefore.
It's linking.
It's linking.
If it bounces, a signal.
We have
bounces.
people that we paid fortunes for.
Similar number are connected and you happen to be connected to that. That's not enough. I remember we deliberated on it even prior to Bafana's lawyer actually doing that in court to the prosecutor.
And then because we have gullible people, once they say yes, there's connection of a tar, they don't even want to listen. Before they even finish the word tar.
No.
Yes, connection.
He's guilty.
No, they listen to one word. Those ones, they listen to one word. There's connection of a cell phone. Before they even mention the connection is actually due to that tower. You see, guilty.
Imagine being linked like that to a crime, you guys.
We are all guilty then of certain
the
things.
The tower interacted with your phone and it also interacted with the person that is, you're a victim. Basically, you are guilty. Then what? So that thing needs more work on it. It's not sufficient to convict a person on. It's not. Even with this case, we saw it while Colonel Steyn was giving his evidence there. It wasn't enough. It didn't stick.
Let's just continue, Emil.
Well, Ntanzi asked not to respond to the question because he could hear where the question was leading to, or he could not hear what the question was leading to. So Sibanda then said, what are you saying is that you appeared before Rapadu with that bloody T-shirt? And what my question is, honestly, let me pause a bit. Why did Baloyi not do this cross-examination himself? Because
why did Baloyi not do this cross-examination is one. I realized later that he was running away from the fact that he's been part of this case, sort of from the beginning. When they were when the records were read, yes.
The box back.
He would also have to use his oath that he took to actually now tell. This is my opinion. Tell the truth of what happened that side. So it's in the absence of Mjiyakho, we have Baloyi.
I never even thought of it like that.
And then number two, there were many rules that were going to be broken.
Wow.
The line of questioning, the manner in which it was handled, it did not allow a senior prosecutor to actually take that route. So get someone who's willing to get his hands dirty and let him do the job.
Well, I seem to be having a bit of a challenge here, but we'll continue, guys. We'll continue with what I'm doing here. Let me just
sort out the technical.
Yeah, we're having a technical difficulty, but guys, I promise I will sort it out just now.
You can continue. I'll sort it out.
All right. Let me get my ish together here. You guys. Let me get my stuff together. But yeah, it makes sense that that he's been part of this case from the very beginning. So it makes sense. It really does make sense to me that he wouldn't want to. Now as Ntanzi speaking, Ntanzi would be like, even you were there. You know, how Brigadier was doing it and pointing at Mshololo and saying, Mshololo, you were also there. Do you remember that moment? That is what was happening. So yes, I was like, Konoksha Manzi, why is Baloyi now whispering through Sibanda? Why doesn't he just do this cross-examination himself? Well, but today it seems like Sibanda is on fire for some weird reason. You understand? So yes, guys, let me quickly do this. Okay, I know it's an awkward silence. I need to move. I need to move. I don't like being stagnant like this. But yeah, it's a technical issue that I'm having. I thought I had fixed it, but somehow it popped back and it's now disrupting me, you guys. It's disrupting me. So yes, Sibanda, where was I? The part where Colonel Rapadu, right? Colonel Rapadu was talking to Ntanzi was being cross-examined regarding what Colonel Rapadu had testified in court. And I'm struggling to get a hold of that part, but I will get it soon, you guys. Yes, I think I found it. So Ntanzi said that he never met him and he only saw him. Okay, here we're on Mjiyakho. We're on Mjiyakho. I moved on from Mjiyakho. I'm on Colonel Rapadu now. Yes, he said, Ntanzi said that he did not ask him that question, right? And then he says, I was stunned, where he says, on my body, but I did not undress in front of him. So Baloyi again whispered to Sibanda, when you arrive at Colonel Rapadu, did you have that stained t-shirt as well? And Ntanzi said, I believe the t-shirt was underneath. As I was dressed, it was during winter and it was cold. So Sibanda then asked, so what are you saying? What you are saying is that you appeared before Rapadu with that bloody t-shirt. And why did Baloyi also not do this cross-examination himself? That's the question that I had. And Ntanzi responded to say, when I got to the police station, my clothes were wet. I took them off to dry them, and I would sleep in the tracksuit that was wet with a jacket. So he would sleep in the tracksuit that was wet with a jacket. And I'm assuming that this wetness came from the time he alleged that he was poured with water and then electrocuted, right? So he said, when I would wake up, I would get dressed not knowing where I was going. And when I would return, I would not know where I was, which police station I was in. So he said, when I would wake up, I would get dressed not knowing where I was going. And when I would return, I would not know where I was. So Sibanda said, you have not answered the question. And Ntanzi said, yes, the clothes were underneath. Okay, the tracksuit and the jacket. And then Sibanda says, so when he says, I even took out his clothing, it cannot be true, right? Because Rapadu had testified that he made him undress. And Ntanzi said, yes, my lord, he's lying.
You're good to go, Emil. You're good to go.
Pardon?
You are good to go.
Okay. I'm not good to go, Mr. Anonymous. I'm not good to go. Okay. Okay, guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. It's a technical difficulty, but it's sorted now. Oh my goodness, I was stressed. I was stressing bullets, but I'm back. So Sibanda said, you have not answered the question. And Ntanzi said, yes, the clothes were underneath the tracksuit and the jacket. So when he says that I even took out his clothing, it cannot be true. And Ntanzi said, yes, my lord, he is lying. So Sibanda said, did you show him the t-shirt that was inside? And Ntanzi said, he never told me to undress. Okay, he never told me to undress. Ntanzi Rapadu never told him to take his clothes off, and he wasn't even talking to him. They did not even have that conversation.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that?
I cannot think right now. After you put me through this, so I need to get myself together.
We are live. Things happen, guys. I know. when we're live, technical difficulties do happen. But yeah, we are coming back. We're coming back. So, see, but after the court asked any matters arising from the court's question, and that is when the issue of the clothes came about. It was never canvassed with the witness, all right? So Ntanzi then said, "My lord, may I please not speak on behalf of the lawyers? Because, yeah, people have a problem. Even I initially had a problem with this, but I'm over it now because...
Yeah.
What is he supposed to do? Like, what can he do? I mean, if they're asking him about what the lawyer said, the lawyer is his mouthpiece. The lawyer cannot exactly, by the time the lawyer was narrating the story, perhaps he was not recalling almost everything exactly how it is to the T. You understand? This happened in 2020. We are now in 2024. He didn't have somewhere to write the events as they were happening to him. It's not like they arrest you and they give you a notebook and a piece of paper to write your own version of events.
Yeah.
It's not like that. So he's recalling everything from his memory. So it is bound.
Here's a suggestion, Emil, from Net. Mr. Anonymous, if we don't like the video, I think you should stop the streaming. This is not fair.
It's not fair, ne? And look at what we're going through, like the whole nitty-gritties, the rush of being live and then having to have technical difficulties. Guys, please like the video. How can Ninja?
For the sake of my brain, I mean,
Make me happy.
I have to figure a lot of things out if they go wrong. We don't have a team, guys. All we are asking is really for you guys to assist in terms of liking the video so that we continue doing this. We're not asking for money, for example. Those who give, we thank them.
And we highly
appreciate them. Those who are members, we highly appreciate. Yet we understand that there are other people who cannot be members. I mean, we on the other side, we can just decide to go live with the members only, even if it's 10. And
it will be less pressure there.
Yes.
Less pressure.
So we have 700 people on currently watching us. We have 380
guys, please
likes.
Like the video, please, man. Oh, please, just hit that like button, okay? You know, we're going through a lot here. You guys don't have any idea putting this show together. It's a lot. It's a lot. So Sibanda then said, was the t-shirt wet? Was it wet? And Ntanzi said that they poured water on him. Like I said, it probably happened around the time where he narrated that he was being electrocuted with something. But he couldn't quite describe it. In my mind or my brain, I thought maybe it's a taser. That pour him with water and then tase him. Pour him with water and then tase him. It's in my opinion. So he said, I took the t-shirt and hung it. There was wind coming in the cell. And may the court bear in mind that the t-shirt was not wet on the entire body. So yeah, we are talking about the part where water was poured and not the entire body. So he's narrating that actually water was poured on a particular part where that device was used, not necessarily the whole body. So Sibanda then said, you also indicated that you were wearing a vest underneath. Was the vest also covered in blood? And Ntanzi said, if I had at least one Fabiani t-shirt to demonstrate, you know, the yellow one I was wearing, I was going to show you. Remember the yellow one that he was wearing disappeared at Valeria police station. He says that that's where he lost it.
Yes.
So when the blood gets to the t-shirt, it will never go to the vest. Even now, as I'm dressed like this, if blood is poured on me, it will transfer to the white vest that I have underneath. So you can practically see that there was a repetition, and Ntanzi doesn't quite change his story much. His story in his head is still his experience of what happened. It's just that the nitty-gritties, the details it may be there, and I don't blame him because it's now year 4. of
It
him
is.
being incarcerated. A lot has been happening also inside. You also have to consider that. You know, a lot of things have been happening inside as well. So his memory with time. That's why this trial has to go on, because the farther it goes, the more the state will have a lot of things to say. Oh, he's contradicting himself.
Yes.
Just because he can't remember a particular thing at a particular place on a particular spot.
Thank you for the generous offer, Ned. Thank you very much for this gift. Thank you.
Thank you,
appreciate
Ned. Thank you so much. I don't even know.
Super
I
chat.
can't see, but thank you. I know it has good intentions. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's continue.
So, and even the vest, you did not show it to Colonel Rapadu, is what Sibanda was asking Ntanzi. And Ntanzi said, I repeat, there's no conversation that I had with Colonel Rapadu. Remember, he said Colonel Rapadu.
Consistently.
Colonel Rapadu was holding papers, guys, and his ID. According to Ntanzi's version, he was doing this.
What is common about what Ntanzi is saying, and he keeps on saying, is that all of them, those who took the testimony, they had an ID in front of them.
Yes.
Which therefore, if Ntanzi is telling the truth, would mean that all of them, including the magistrate,
including
was
the
in on
magistrate.
it.
Yes. I know it's hard to believe.
So now it's difficult to think that, but it's
a
happening.
magistrate of that stature and would participate in all of this. It's
Maria Gambi, thank you very much. $49. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria. Thank you.
That's a huge amount.
Thank you. Highly appreciated.
Highly
Thank you,
appreciated.
Guys. Promise you it's gonna go to good use. Okay.
We will.
We will make sure we get better.
And Keta Mabaso, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
For your generous gift. Thank you.
I saw me sweating bullets just a moment ago.
And I almost shouted.
I had heart attack. I was like, what is going on? Why is this thing stopping? Next thing it'll be the camera. What is going on?
I almost shouted. Let's continue.
Okay, so Sibanda then said, and when you appeared before the Magistrate Crinier, you still had the clothes on. And Ntanzi said, yes, I had already explained many times that I had not changed. I even requested to call members of my family to let them know to bring me clothes to change as I had been arrested. And Sibanda said, and you didn't see the need to show her. Ntanzi said that she never asked him. She never asked regarding that. And he said, I maintain that if I was asked, I was going to show her. Exactly the point. I mean, she didn't even talk to Ntanzi. That is the question that I have. Did you actually talk to Ntanzi? Because I remember even yesterday, when he was talking about Osibanda was trying to drive it home that you are saying that Miss Krunier didn't see that you were chained on your legs. And he was like, she didn't even look at my shoes.
That was a proper jab, but to show that there was no attention given or no one paid attention to Ntanzi.
How do you miss the chained in the legs part? And you didn't include it in your pro forma.
But from what Ntanzi is saying, this is just to demonstrate further what could have taken place and how these people were not interested in knowing what was happening with Ntanzi.
Or what he was going
Or rather, they were just focusing at the matter that was on the table.
Confession.
And that confession and how it comes. That was it. And that is the impression we are getting from Ntanzi. And without even noticing that he's even demonstrating further that these people did not take notice of certain things that that were clear and obvious to me.
Because it's very strange, it's very strange. I cannot imagine what he was going through. So asked, as he was asking for a bath and a change of clothes, did he not see it necessary to show Miss Grenier that his vest and t-shirts underneath had blood? And Ntanzi further said that if he was asked a question, then he was going to show her, because even the call, he requested to make it in front of her and still did not receive that phone call privilege. And even when you go back to Ms. Cronje's testimony, there's nothing where she did something about the bathing and the phone call situation, where she said, I took it upon myself to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to ensure that Mr. Ntanzi gets the phone call and gets the bathing situation.
The fact
sorted
that
out.
it was Mr. Ntanzi, who is, I don't want to use the word, I don't think, in my own opinion, you would never get such help. There are people who feel that certain people deserve everything that is coming through their way. This is my own thinking. If it was some grondkloof from somewhere saying that, things would be different. That's my thinking, and that's my own opinion.
Well, Sibanda then says, so you made other requests out of your own will, but this important aspect of a bloody t-shirt as well as the vest, you did not want to volunteer to the magistrate. And Ntanzi said, I repeat this answer, that she did not ask me. Had she asked me, I'm the one who asked the sister who was sitting there, meaning the interpreter, who said that to help me with things to bath and calling. You know, to me, I also had questions, because there's this alleged recording that was supposed to be handed in. The state really wanted it to come through. And I was thinking to myself, Ntanzi saying here, I got in there and I asked this lady who perhaps looked more like he could hear him. And of course, she could hear him because she's an interpreter. And she said, I can speak Zulu, you know. And she's saying, I need to take a bath. I need to call my family. I need a bath. And she's perhaps he's talking to her in isiZulu, right? And then he said that's the first thing he did when he entered that room. And then he describes on about how Miss Cronje would sit down, get up to the lady in the passage, sit down again to write, looking at the laptop, and then go. And that's his version of events and how it happened. And then by the time they make him sign, the interpreter lady is saying, okay, for you to get your bath and your phone call, please sign here. And then he signs. That's what he's saying happened to him. And that's how that signature ended up there.
And it's there. And it's the only signature.
And people are having a problem with him, with the version that Ngomezulu had put before, of saying that he did not sign anything. When he walked out, he did not sign anything.
And that's what
maybe he forgot.
No, that's what he was supposed to say.
He was supposed to say that. He didn't
Now
say
that you
anything.
think about it, if Ngomezulu said you signed a paper, then it was going to be, even your lawyer said you signed a paper.
Oh, yeah, even the lawyer, they were going to use it.
It was a
against
good thing
him.
that Ngomezulu said you didn't sign the paper.
And for you to be made to sign something without reading or understanding its full context of what you're signing, does it qualify to you?
Now, if that was the case, we would be arguing, if that was a point of argument, we'd be arguing that there was an interpreter.
Exactly. But Sibanda then said, but she did ask about you having any injuries. And Ntanzi said she never asked me about injuries. So Sibanda said, you further testified that at some stage, Gininda arrived with a gentleman in braces as well as Sergeant Mohola in a white BMW. And Gininda opened the boot of that vehicle and sat at the back. And then Sergeant Mohola said that particular BMW was issued to her in 2021. So Ntanzi said, what I like is that you are talking about a police officer who drives a state vehicle. She does not use one state vehicle. Even now, she does not use one state vehicle, because I'm talking about what I saw him arrive in. And it's true. though so far how we've seen Mogola is moving, she's high up there, you understand? She was even talking about how she has changed cars. There's a red Polo at some point, she was driving this other car at some point, now
new
it's a
version.
BMW, you know? She's even talking about how it's a new version and whatnot. They do change cars, don't they?
They do.
So it's a valid point.
It's our tech, it's our money. That's my worry.
Yeah, it's troubling.
Today I'm sitting here arguing against the person, the people that I could be compromised to argue against, in a sense that they take the tax that I pay
And it's a
and use
lot.
it.
It's a lot of it. And he said, I don't know where she took that car. She's the one who knows. Don't make me respond to issues of cars that I don't know about. Ntanzi was solid, guys. I was with him in spirit.
One thing though, you must look at when it comes to this Ntanzi of today. He was calm.
Yes, he was calmer than
Whoever
yesterday.
got into him and said, be calm,
It worked.
it worked.
He was a lot calmer today.
He was. The other days, it was scary because,
It was like he was on the brink
yeah,
of losing
something
his
was
mind.
triggered. You know, it was
Yeah.
like something was triggered.
Like, but today was a lot calmer, and I was even proud. I was surprised. I was like, okay, today you're
And
doing
that's
your
how
best job.
Bia conquered. Bia was so calm. I don't know who advised Bia, but considering that the same lawyers, yours, Bia was so calm.
I'm also thinking it's his experience with the previous cases and how they've gone. So perhaps he was like Ntanzi in those cases. We will never know, of course, because we don't have the
No, he
transcript.
doesn't seem like he talks a lot.
So he doesn't like to over-explain.
Yeah, I don't think
himself.
what helped him is that he does even dance is shy. I think the frustration of not being able to see, you know, at the end, I felt the pain when that record that said my kids, and then whatever that disappeared on that record. I felt that pain.
That he has 3 kids.
I felt that pain. You know, we sit here, we are discussing these things.
Yeah.
This person has kids. And he said, my grandma would not pay for Mjiyakho because he's feeding my kids now. Why would I not take a bail knowing that I'm going to be able to go and work for my kids? Why would I not take bail?
And to think that he's the only breadwinner.
Unzima.
There's a family at Donsaganzima, Manje, while
It's
all
difficult.
of this is happening.
It's difficult. And then you hear people who are from a privileged position. This person was working underground. You know, that's a most scary job also.
Yes.
You have to consider that. If there's easy money that you can take, why would you... point me to one proper Nkabi that you have seen working.
That would go underground.
They don't do that.
How Walin? That they would work an underground job and in Kabi.
They don't do that. They don't bother doing that. They are chilling at home, renting a room somewhere, waiting for someone to get angry and send a number. That's it.
That's it. And Sibanda now focused on the 3 million deal that was allegedly offered by Brigadier Gininda. Mgomezulu put to Brigadier Gininda that he offered Ntanzi 3 million to implicate the right people in this case. And Sibanda said, was this at Primrose or Pretoria Police Station? One thing I noticed as well is how Sibanda hammered on the police stations on wanting Ntanzi to name them, even though Ntanzi kept saying, I don't remember, I don't know which station I was in at what time because I didn't know those police stations. But he picked it up as a weakness to say, okay, I'm just going to make him look bad by always asking him, which police station were you in? Which police station were you in? Knowing very well that he said he cannot remember and he doesn't know those police stations. You understand? So it was like, yeah, you're really going to hammer on really asking about the police stations because there you're not going to get an answer. He already let you know that I can't remember. I don't know the police stations. It's almost like he wanted him to guess. It was like he wanted him to guess the police station so that when he gets it wrong, it'll be like, yes, you are lying. I'm sorry, but that's my interpretation of the situation. You guys may have a different one, but that's how I felt like. I felt like this is a trap. He's doing it on purpose. He will keep asking him about the police stations because he wants him to contradict himself. So Ntanzi then said, I have already mentioned it twice that I did not know which police station I was at since I never arrive at any police station during the day. So Sibanda read from the 25th of January 2024, the cross-examination of Brigadier Kininda. And I quote where it said, the point I'm driving, this was Mgomezulu, I think, in my opinion. The point I'm driving to is when he was taken to Primrose, you also came in Primrose. You met him there. I think on the 20th, they met you there. And that is when on that day you apologized to him. You apologized to him, Ntanzi, for having been assaulted. And that is when you made a promise to him that you can offer him 3 million rands. And there's a part where he said, may I go confirm it? That was before he mentioned the money, 3 million rands. Yes, he did come to me because he had found out that everything he was beating me up for was not so. This is Ntanzi now saying that, yes, Brigadier Kininda came to me with that offer to say that he will offer me 3 million and that I should implicate certain people. And he also apologized on that as well. He also apologized for what had happened because he noticed that perhaps he was not guilty. My opinion, I think here, if that ever took place and the apology took place, perhaps it took place because he noticed that he couldn't get anything to pin Ntanzi on, in my opinion. But then, I digress.
I look, in my opinion, it has nothing to do with that per se.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe to soften him up.
Oh, to soften him up.
Because if you listen to and look at the story of Ntanzi and obviously take what Ntanzi is saying as the truth, if you were to do that. This was built from the word go on a wrong foundation. So to come and apologize after you had Zungu and warrant officer who? Makubo.
Yes. Not Makubo.
No. Was it
Zungu and?
Where Zungu was told that he's telling lies.
Oh, it is Warrant
Officer Makubo.
Yes.
So this is something that was already built around the wrong foundation.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes.
So do you think that any apology that comes from that person is because he's realizing that, and if it's true, is because he's realizing that, hey, this is the wrong.
The other cases, perhaps they were not sticking. He wasn't looking like a career criminal that he had hoped he is.
Do you think he would apologize if that was the case?
No. Let me be honest. Now that I think about
it,
no, I don't see, because we've seen, even judging from the testimony, that there's no going back. There's no such apology.
So obviously this is our own opinion, and just looking at the theory of Ntanzi in general.
Yeah. So he said, yes, he did come to me because he had found out that everything he was beating me up for was not so. I'll shame Ntanzi, yes. Yes. And then Gininda came to him on a Sunday, the 21st of June, and requested him to work with you to cooperate. And that is when you offered him 3 million, as long as he's going to make sure that he's implicating the right people. Ntanzi said that he does not remember the police station where this took place. Mr. Anonymous, you know how Sibanda picked up a weakness from Ntanzi. Ntanzi already said from the beginning of his cross-examination that I'm not going to be able to recall police stations.
Yes.
Because I did not see, it was at night most of the time when they would admit me into the cells. So I wouldn't know what police station I'm at a particular time. I didn't know. And Sibanda somehow keeps bringing up the question of which police station did this take place. Now he wanted to know where the police station was where the 3 million offer took place.
Yes.
And that so-called apology took place.
Mm-hmm.
So he wanted now for him to name a police station so that after he names that police station, he then names the wrong police station.
And then we use that.
You are a liar.
Yes.
So a lot of people are like, oh no, he's so good. He contradicted himself. But can't you see what he's doing? He's doing exactly what the Rep versus Hopworth was calling against. And on top of that, Nisi was so correct to pick this up because it had been happening the whole day. I'm only picking it up now myself that actually Nisi was correct to stop that. It was ludicrous. It was insane. How many more questions were we going to endure where he's being asked for a police station, where he was at a police station so that they can wait for him to call a wrong police station and say, yeah, you are a liar, or whatever they were trying to prove. It still doesn't place him at the Spaza house on the 26th of October 2014. So Ntanzi said that he does not remember the police station where this took place. And Baloyi whispered again, and Sibanda asked now this question. This version was it at Primrose or was it at Pretoria police station? And Ntanzi said, I have mentioned it twice already. The police stations I can't remember because they confuse me. I was booked in at night all the time. I was never booked in during the day. So Sibanda then said, this is very important. It's an important issue. Why can't you remember the police station? Then Ntanzi said he has mentioned he doesn't recall or remember the police station. Perhaps the state can remind him by reading what was written by Mogani regarding the police stations. And he's trying to hold Ntanzi hostage by using Mgomezulu's argument or cross-examination of Brigadier Gininda. He forgets that conveniently forgets that Mgomezulu had access to the OB occurrence book entries. He has access to them. He saw them. He was able to see, okay, Friday he went into this police station and this is that's why Mgomezulu was like this particular police station, right? So I'm like, I don't understand this line of cross-examination. It's full of so much tricks and really now it's Then Sibanda then said, I put it to you that you are fabricating this since you can't remember which police station this happened in. So what exactly is he fabricating? Is he fabricating the police station? Is he fabricating the assault? Is that how it works? You're just going to pin the fabrication without laying the proper basis. Fabricating what? The offer of the 3 million as well. He's fabricating it because he can't remember which police station it happened in. Is that how it works? This cross-examination in the courts? Is that how people are taken down? Don't understand. Then Ntanzi then said, I believe that I've already testified that I never knew any police station I was kept in. So I can also say that the state is also lying. This is Ntanzi's response. So Ntanzi said that he even asked his legal representatives to get him the names of the police stations because he did not know them. He did not know them. Even when under re-examination with Ramasipili had to name all 4 of them, give them to him one more time. It's like Pretoria North, Moot, Primrose, and Valeria. Ntanzi didn't know these police stations, honestly speaking. He didn't. So Sibanda put it to Ntanzi that Gininda never visited him at the police station according to the register, and Ntanzi maintained that he did visit him. You know how Brigadier Gininda has been made to be this very big and important person. I mean, everybody who's testified before he came to testify holds him at a high prestige.
Yeah, he was. They were always gonna say he's going to come and clarify that. He's going to come and clarify that.
He didn't clarify anything.
Yeah. So, thank you, Jafet. Coolly, thank you very much for your gift. And guys, let us remember to like the video and share the video. I see we are close to 800 right now. And we have 455 likes. Let's have the likes. And for those who have donated, thank you very much. And those who have joined, thank you very much for joining.
And
our
you
membership.
On the TV, I know people on the TV are like, it's too much of an exercise. Use that circle thingy with the arrows.
Yes.
Navigate.
Yes.
There's a like button. You will find it if you navigate with that remote. Please find that and press that like button.
Yeah. I think I should reduce cameras. Maybe crop them so that it's difficult to watch it on TV. It just becomes more blurry.
Why?
So that we can have people on their phones liking the video. I'm joking, guys, but I do also like YouTube. Watch YouTube on my TV, and I'm able to like for those who need my likes, who deserves my like. And obviously, it's all about
promise
deserving.
It's there. The like button is there, even on the TV. I found it. Then Sibanda said that it was put to the witnesses that they came up with all the lies that are contained in the confession statement, and he was just forced to sign. And Ntanzi said that I did say that I did not write those documents, and neither do I have anything to do with them. Ntanzi said that he does not know what is contained in those confession statements since he had nothing to do with them. Sibanda then said, so the police brought documents that will not help with anything, and Ntanzi maintained that he knows nothing about those confessions and what's written inside. So Sibanda said, you say police came with something prepared and forced you to sign.
Yes.
And Ntanzi said, please remind me of those exhibits. And Sibanda said, a confession before magistrate and Colonel and Rapadu. And Ntanzi said, I repeat, those things I did not freely and voluntarily do them. I also mentioned I didn't write those documents. I also mentioned that if I did write them, I would have done it out of my own free will, and I would have written them in isiZulu.
Yes.
And they would have been translated, right?
Yes.
Yes. Then Sibanda said, and you say you don't know what is contained in them. And Ntanzi said, even now, I maintain I don't know what they contain. And I don't even want to know, as I'm not a part of it. You know, Mr. Anonymous, I remember while I was early on, sometime about 2 years ago, I was reading up on this case that happened in the early 2000s. And so much of what is happening here kind of reminds me of that case all the time. I don't know, but these people are currently getting old in jail. They were convicted in the early 2001, and they were accused of being serial killers.
Yes.
But to me, when I was reading up on the case, it really didn't make sense to me. And the police officer of that time, I'm not going to mention that case because I know I may receive fire from some people because they believe that this detective did amazing work. He's celebrated in the media. I don't want to mention him. So, but from my reading of the events and what happened with the case is that these people were arrested for robbery, right?
Yes.
And then around that area, I'm not even going to mention the area. So around that area, there were serial killings happening, right? And then they arrest these two men for robbery, for robbing someone. And then on their way to the police station, they are saying that these men confessed to being serial killers. And I'm like, how does that happen? To this day, it still blows my mind. How does that happen?
I think I've read about it a bit.
Like, how does that happen that you get arrested for robbery and then you come clean that actually all of these people that have been falling here, it's me? And then in the trial, they got one of the girlfriend of the other guy to implicate him to say, exactly like how it's happening here with Sibiya's girlfriend, to say that Sibiya's girlfriend said that he has he is involved in the Senzo Meyiwa trial. With that case, a similar thing kind of happened where the girlfriend was like, this guy told me that he's the one who's been going around doing this to people. And she testified in court against that guy.
You know when you do that, what I normally think, Amen. It reminds me of that incident that happened just recently on the mines. That guy who took someone's life and
Posted selfies.
and took a selfie. You might as well just do that if you are going to confess like that.
Might as well, right?
I mean,
I was like, how do
you are
get
caught for steering a Norox, and then you're like, oh, by the way,
arrested for robbery?
by the way, listen.
And on your way to the police station, you confess that you've been doing this to people. You've been committing. Hi.
Yeah.
South Africa is very, very special and unique.
You might as well just take photos of everything you do and videos and just post them on internet. I mean, it's easy if you want to confess.
I remember reading about it and I was like, but so as I am busy now unpacking this and this is happening in court and we are finding out all these other informations, how is implicated.
You know, in America,
I'm thinking, this looks like it's some kind of a pattern, in my opinion.
You know, in America, when you watch those footages, it takes ages to actually confess. It takes enticing to say, we will give you this if you give us this. You understand?
That is happening in America.
Yes.
It only happens in
And
America.
then
South Africa, it's not happening.
In South Africa, people just confess.
They look at a police
They don't
officer,
even
they
wait
come
for
clean.
whatever that is going to be given. They just confess. They just tell on themselves, hey, listen, by the way, this is what I was doing. In case you didn't know, when you are just arresting me for stealing Norox. No. Actually, I've done more.
I've done worse than
I've done worse than what you're arresting me for. So think again.
Hi man, go right there up here. But we'll talk about it on another day, okay? We'll still talk about it at a later stage. Well, Ntanzi said, even now, I maintain I don't know what they contain and I don't even want to know as I'm not a part of it. Sibanda then said on the 9th of February, when you gave evidence, was Mr. Mjiyakho representing you on the 13th of July 2020? Ntanzi said, where? And Sibanda said at Tlhabani Court. And Ntanzi said, I don't
If you
remember.
ask me, the line of questioning about Mjiyakho was always gonna eventually explode. You know? It was always gonna explode. I mean, come on, guys.
The state.
You know whatever that you know that we don't know. You know? Why? Why are you gonna probe this much on Mjiyakho? And now, everything that you've been doing, it's undone.
Cancelled.
By one man who stood up and said, who took about 2 minutes.
Now they need to show that letter of appointment, the transactions that happened to show that Ntanzi is the one who paid for Mjiyakho. All of that stuff.
Do you understand?
Now we need to see it, and it's going to be interesting.
No, it's
how
not gonna come.
presented.
It's not gonna come. Same as DNA. It's not gonna come. It's gone. If you ask me, any judge, without being biased, would have ruled against the state. And I'm saying this.
It seems like the more they go, the more it gets revealed.
Yes. And the other thing is, for some weird reason, Ntanzi promised them something. And when I say promised them something, I don't mean he promised them that, hey, I'm going to tell you whatever that. I think he promised them by acting like he was going to break. I mean, yesterday when we slept the day before, it felt like Ntanzi is going to break.
Yes, it did. And I was so scared and felt so scared for him. I was like, he's going to lose his mind.
Yeah, and when we say breaking, we don't mean that he's guilty in my own opinion. I mean that he was going to, because at some point, honestly speaking, he sounded like he was now starting to agree with what this guy is putting. Even when he stood up, Vele, he got more power. He felt the energy. You'll hear when
That's
after.
why I was saying object, guys, object, just for the sake of objecting, just object. Like, you can't be letting Sibanda get away with all of this. He just comes out of nowhere, and I'm like, he speaks of it like it's a fact, it's a truth, it's exactly as he's saying it. And it didn't happen like that. He does that a lot. So Sibanda then said at Tlhabane Court, and Ntanzi said, I don't remember. And Sibanda said, you said on the 13th of February 2020, you went to court, but you never went to court. You didn't see Mjiyakho. And Ntanzi said, I did testify. I don't remember the dates I appeared in Tlhabane. And Sibanda said, Mr. Ramusipili was very clear about the 13th of July 2020 that you were taken to court, but didn't go in because of the danger tape and didn't see Mjiyakho. Okay, this is where the trouble happened, guys. This is where the drama happened, okay? Ntanzi said, I never saw him on that date, as it was mentioned that I had a legal aid attorney and I never even saw that attorney. And Sibanda said, did you appear in court? And Ntanzi said, I said I did go to court on the 13th of July. However, I don't recall if I went outside or not, because on some days I would arrive and it would be cordoned off with a danger tape because of the corona, and the defense wants to listen to the court record of the 9th of February. So they adjourned earlier than the lunch adjournment so that they could make time to listen to the record. So after the long adjournment, the court did play that record from the proceedings of last week. And Ntanzi maintained that he never went into the court or inside the court. Remember how he testified about how he was in the car?
I did not listen to that, but I listened to that record on the 9th of February.
On the 9th of February.
And I said that, I told you that I don't hear what this guy is actually questioning Ntanzi about.
So you didn't pick it up?
No.
They are saying Ramusipili is the one who said it. It's not there.
No, it was not there.
Well, that's good. This is what I'm saying about Sibanda, guys. This is what I'm saying. You need to thoroughly check everything that he puts. Don't just take it and think it is what it is. It's usually twisted. It's not so. So you have to investigate it and then see if he's wrong or right. Then come and object. So the court did play the record from the proceedings of last week, and Ntanzi maintained that he never went into the court, while Sibanda read the portion where the prosecutor said that Ntanzi was present and represented by Mjiyakho, who wanted to address the court. And they asked him, what is your comment? Ntanzi said, if I remember well, I entered the court and a person who had robed like an advocate stood. So now Ntanzi is saying that, okay, actually I remember that court appearance. I went inside. He even said it was for a short time. Mr. Anonymous, Ntanzi said it was about 15 minutes, right? there's a court appearance that he said, I went there and went out. It was so quick. I remember him saying this prior. It's just that he couldn't remember which one it was. So he attached the one where the magistrate came to look at him at the car and go back with Mukhani into the court. That was a different appearance. It's not this particular one. This particular one, there's somewhere where he was testifying that he went there and the court appearance was briefly like 15 minutes. He said it before. To me, it wasn't quite new. You know,
it was not.
It's just that it was mishmashed. It was confused. So Sibanda danced at this day, but Sibanda was very happy about. Sibanda, this was a huge contradiction. I even saw the haters on the comment section. They're like, "Yeah, he's lying. He's a contradiction." I'm like, this contradiction is not gonna break the camel's back. It's not a contradiction that would make you go, what is happening? And you saw the defense are relaxed. I mean, it's not that contradiction that will make you like, it is. And I don't blame him. And I am not more understanding for him because he didn't have a pro forma in front of him as he's testifying. He doesn't have a statement that is assisting jogging his memory. He doesn't have none of that. He's recalling everything from his experience.
Yes. And so, he doesn't have to say subsequently.
He's subsequently effective to that. No. He's recalling from his experience. So yes, some of the things are going to be mushimashi. I was expecting it. So I don't understand all these people that are expecting him to testify like he has a 20-page statement in front of him that will help him jog the memory. Elena. So Sibanda now turned to the proceedings of the 13th of July 2020 and he read the record of those proceedings. Sibanda read the portion where the prosecutor said that Ntanzi was present and represented by Mjiyakho, who wanted to address the court. So he asked him, what is your comment? And Ntanzi said, if I remember well, I entered the court and a person who was robed like an advocate stood up and addressed the court. Another person also stood up to address the court. I was then instructed to leave. He has said this before. I've heard this thing before.
Yes.
He said that he was instructed to then leave. He went in and went out. That was the initial. I don't know whether it was examination in chief or what. But I've heard this before.
You know, Ntanzi moored this guy when he thought he got him because Mjiyakho was there. And he's like, oh, by the way, he had a mask, that person.
And sunglasses. Who shows up to court with sunglasses? I can see the mask. It was during those times. But sunglasses on top of that. In a court. Who does that? Who does that? Who shows up at a court representing a person and wearing sunglasses?
I don't think it's sunglasses. I've seen the picture. Have you seen the picture?
Oh, his glasses.
His
prescription glasses are a bit dark.
Dark, yes. I don't think it's sunglasses.
But they do look like sunglasses.
But that's what I'm talking about. The manner in which he's explaining these things, it's rough. That's what, for me, screams the truth.
It's from his understanding.
If we are too correct and say, hey, like these were prescription glasses, then I was going to be worried, which I call.
Aye, man. Prescription glasses for who, for which? How do you know they're prescription? Then he said, I was then instructed to leave. I never got the opportunity to address the court, and neither was I asked whether or not I know Mr. Mjiyakho. I did not even see this Mjiyakho person.
Where did he get that one? Because seemingly, Ntanzi, since he's on the stand, he's, what I'm gathering from what I heard from Ramsipit,
yes,
there's less consultation, no consultation at all.
No.
Where did he get that one? Ukuthi ngosenkantolo angaze mina ngitshela ukuthi ngibuzwe ukuthi ilawyer yami le. I was never asked.
I think it's because of what he's been going through with the Senzo Meyiwa trial alone. Even Rata, when he first started sitting on the case, he did ask them, do you, Oyakumbul? He did ask, Judge Ratham Khatling did ask them that, do you accept these people as your legal representatives?
Yes.
So maybe he was like, this has not been happening with the other court appearances that I've been a part of.
Yo, but to pull it at this time, the timing of it.
And even Maumela did it. Maumela also did it at the beginning, I remember.
Oh.
And he's thinking, oh my God, this didn't happen when I was in Rustenburg and appearing in all these other court cases. So that's why maybe he thought of it now, that actually that did not happen. He said, I got in, I got out. Specifically this court appearance. And Ntanzi said that at Rustenburg on the 13th, I went into the court and a person was robed like an advocate, and he didn't even see who this person was. And now changing your version, Sibanda said, you're changing your version. You were inside the courtroom. And I panicked. I don't want to lie.
No,
I
was
thought
not
to myself,
changing the version.
I was like, okay, it seems like the state is trying to make him look like a liar.
For everything that Ntanzi has made a mistake of, there's a backup for it. For example, you said, there were times where I went in.
Yes.
There were times where I didn't go in.
Yes. There are times that he went in and times he didn't.
Two,
He did say
he said that I cannot remember the dates exactly. So by so saying, even if he makes a mistake of mixing the dates, it's forgivable. He's been singing about that.
Yeah, so Ntanzi said there are some days when he would go inside and some days he wouldn't. He did tell the court and he said, I don't recall the dates as well. So Sibanda said the record shows Mr. Mjiyakho was present there and addressed the court. And Ntanzi said, I was not going through an entrance like other prisoners. He said that upon his arrival, there was a person wearing a mask and sunglasses, and that person was speaking. In fact, he's saying they didn't use the normal front court entrance with him. They would use maybe one that like as at the back one. And he noticed a person wearing a mask and sunglasses, and that person was speaking at the court.
And if you imagine the mask and the glasses deny you access of actually identifying that person.
That person. Yes. So
case closed.
He was like, who would I identify that person as? Who would I say, who is this person when they have sunglasses and a mask on? What can I say who this person is? And Sibanda then said the record shows that at 10:49, court started and was done at 11:03. Oh my God, it was 15 minutes.
Look at how they call it. They don't say 15 minutes. They say 10.
Oh my God, it was 15 minutes.
It's not about how.
15.
It's not about right and wrong.
No.
It's about how you put it that makes it right.
Yes.
So when you say 10, yes, when you say 10, it sounds good.
It sounds like it was an hour.
But now when you calculate the difference between the two
15.
variables, you get 15 minutes.
It's not even 15 minutes actually. It is 14. It's actually 14 minutes. 10:49 to 11:03, they were done. I mean done. So Ntanzi said, is this the time the documents were printed or is it the time I appeared in court? And Sibanda said, yes, that's the time you appeared in court. Ntanzi said, I dispute that because I went in quickly and out quickly. So Ntanzi also did not really read this time. Ntanzi, you are right. You went in and you went out because that court took 15 minutes. The court appearance, you are right. You are so right. You went in and you went out.
But I think Ginindi introduced Kelly's J50 purposely. He even said he concluded his investigation through his crew evidence. Someone is going down for him. That's Uncle Nails. Thank you very much for the gift. I had to read what was written under.
Yes. So maybe that could also be the issue, Uncle Nails. Perhaps. Let's wait and see what happens.
Yes.
So Ntanzi said, I dispute that because I went in quickly and out quickly. Sibanda reading from the record, and the prosecutor, and I quote, the prosecutor said, Your Worship, Mr. Ntanzi, rather Mr. Mjiyako, informed me that he has got an application to make beforehand. The court said, okay, let us hear. And then Mjiyako said, as the court pleases, just speaking to one of the microphones. Please, thank you. And Mr. Mjiyako said, as the court pleases, Your Worship, the matter, we are prepared to apply for bail. However, the discussions that are still happening with the investigative officers.
Does that sound like someone's representing? Okay, good.
I have been informed that there are other potential charges that the state is considering on my client. However, we are discussing, and such discussion will definitely have an impact on his current matter. As such, we wish for the matter to be postponed for the first week of August.
Pause there, Emil. Pause there. Let me first welcome Mokholi Moi, and then as a member, and
welcome.
TD Anna, one of our member. Thank you for your generous offer. Now, someone, did you, let me make a comparison this way.
Okay.
In that Nandipa case and Besta,
yes,
they did not care, those lawyers, of what is pending and what not. They wanted bail for their person.
Yes.
Here is Mjiyakho.
And those one,
who's
the
not
evidence
clear.
was overwhelming.
Yes.
Even Bafana Maungela's lawyer, the evidence, but he wants bail for his client.
Yes, the case is a sensitive case which can invoke a lot of emotions from the public.
Yes.
But
The lawyer
the man is focused on
lawyering.
getting bail for the client. Now, look at this other lawyer on the other side. Yena is worried about how the investigation is going and what will happen.
He's having
the
discussions with the police.
Really?
With the investigating officers. He's having discussions.
But yeah, there's still more to come. So it won't be advisable
Whose lawyer was he?
to have Ntanzi apply for
Who was
bail.
he representing?
What kind of a lawyer is that?
Who was he actually representing? This is a very important question. Were you representing Ntanzi or were you representing the investigation?
I mean, I'm talking about the case of Nandi Pamakul. People who just escaped the country.
Their lawyers want bail for them.
Their lawyers are fighting for bail.
Some of them even got it.
Do you understand?
Yes. They appealed and they got it.
And then here is Ntanzi, the first-time offender.
First-time offender, actually.
You are worried about what the investigator is going to bring. So you
Not
have
a
to,
flight risk. He had a job when he got arrested.
You would like to wait for what the investigator wants to add, and then you'll decide later if you want to apply for bail. And this is someone who's working. You had more reason.
Job.
You had more reason. There was more ground for you to actually apply for bail. This person is the breadwinner at home. This person has a job waiting for him. You would rather wait for an investigator who therefore went on to take about 3 years of investigating. Even today, they're
And
still
it's still going to
investigating.
take more because there are 90 cases.
And then you say you were someone's lawyer. I'm more inclined to believe Ntanzi in saying that he never appointed this lawyer.
Crucify me, I don't care. I
mean, honestly speaking, whose lawyer would come and say, I'm waiting for this investigator to tell me what is going to add? We don't care about that. We are lawyering up. We are taking our client out.
Yes.
Whatever is added.
You can finish your investigation while my client is continuing with their life and the normal activities of their life.
Yes.
After you found something, we'll see each other at trial.
Then you say you were representing someone.
Oh.
Aye. It's like, to me, it's like there was this working together with the investigation team.
Why are you working together with the investigation team
seems
and you're
like
representing me?
What Ntanzi is saying seems like that because you are keeping this person here for the investigation to
You even have the guts to say that in court where a record is being taken. The guts, at least if you did it in the chambers, the guts to say it in front of a whole court magistrate.
Let's continue.
We are working with the investigators. Hypo, guys, this is so fishy.
I didn't say we were working with them. He said
we're
waiting.
There are discussions happening with the investigators.
Yes.
The discussion. What discussions? When you're client.
You will soon find out. Continue.
Guys, these people are stressing me. Like, how does this happen? And by the sounds of it, this court appearance only lasted 15 minutes, and there's no mention of an interpreter, Mr. Anonymous. Where was the interpreter? Ntanzi was hearing that conversation. Did he hear it?
It seems as if he didn't.
There was no interpreter. So it seems Mjiyakho was also, in my opinion, there to make sure that Ntanzi doesn't get out of jail. In my opinion.
That is how it feels like. From what Ntanzi is saying and from the behavior of what we've just read here in this transcript, what more can you say?
And the fact that it's not even the full transcript, some of the things Maloi earlier mentioned, I caught it. He said that some of the things are not there. So it could not even be a full. Can you imagine what a full transcript?
A lot of things that could go wrong when these guys were arrested and they were going through this thing. They did go wrong. You know that my mother used to say, if you don't respect your parents, I was talking to my sister, you will go to hospital and find a doctor that is new and just came here to practice.
That's
and
my worst fear.
You have to give birth through operation, or you actually were going to give birth naturally. But this doctor is just eager because he wants to practice this thing of C-section.
Every time I go to the hospital, that's my fear.
So
right there.
So that was on the basis that you don't respect and you don't listen to your parents. So what could have went wrong with Ntanzi in court? It did go wrong. The records not being clear, some of them, missing some of them, information and all those things, you know. What could have been wrong? The days when they were in court, it went wrong.
Well, they asked for a comment from Ntanzi, and Ntanzi said, I don't remember Mjiyakho telling me about bail. I seriously do not remember. I was going to be happy. Maybe I would have been granted bail, you know. And he said, Sibanda said, the court asked for the date, and Mjiyakho said, any date on the first week of August. And Mjiyakho said, even addressed you as his client. Mjiyakho then agreed to the 3rd of August. He then requested to be excused by the court. So the state was trying to impose Mjiyakho on Ntanzi to say that you were his client. But it went left. Ntanzi said, why was I not asked by the magistrate if I agreed to everything that was said by the lawyer? And then
that sort of says there was no interpreter there. And what worries me is that this guy who was asking a lot of questions, some of them were deemed useless, some of them, he never bothered to ask, was there an interpreter there?
No.
For Ntanzi's understanding?
No. They ran and they got the transcripts. We thank you for these transcripts. Thank you so much for getting them and getting them on time. Thank you. Highly appreciated the state.
Because they thought they were going to help.
Sibanda then said Mjiyakho was not present on the next date, which was the 17th of August court appearance, but was present on the 20th of August. Now, somebody must have told him about this postponement. What is your comment? And Ntanzi said, I don't have a comment. I said that I don't remember the dates in Tlhabane. Then Sibanda read from another appearance where Mjiyakho told the court that Ntanzi abandoned bail. Okay. So the second one, he didn't appear. Then another one, he's saying that Ntanzi abandoned bail. I see the last time he said he was going to have discussions with the investigators. There are other cases. What, non. And then now he comes back and says, my client is abandoned bail. Isn't that suspicious?
Someone who's not consulting with you, allegedly, he comes and say, you
abandoned your bail application.
Whose team were you playing for in this case?
Man.
It's like not to boom Rama own goals. Mjiyakho. It was all about own goals.
Yo. And then, Your Worship, the quote or the record, it says, Your Worship, I apologize this morning for arriving late. Not only that, he was also arriving late to someone's bail application. You arrived late.
Isn't it? No, wait. You know what is funny about this apology? I expected, Your Worship, I am sorry for being absent first. In the last court appearing. No. You are late now. From being absent,
you are late.
You are late and you only apologize for being late.
And muntu kumele thole bail.
And the bail that was supposed to happen when you were absent on the date that you set.
Well, the record, it says, Your Worship, I have received instructions from Mr. Ntanzi that he wishes to abandon his bail application. Not only does he arrive late, not only does he not fight for Ntanzi to get bail.
He's here to postpone further.
Well, Ntanzi said, I'm hearing this for the first time. How would I abandon bail when I know that I would have been released and it would have allowed me to return back to work so I can continue supporting my parents? Another thing is the answer of the magistrate where he asked me whether I wish to abandon my bail application or not. He was supposed to ask me as well so that I could respond. Why is his answer not showing there on that court transcript? And I was like, yes, Ntanzi, yes. Those are the type of things, you know?
Look,
yes.
When all this is done.
Where is it on the court record where it says Ntanzi was talking?
The court confirmed Ntanzi. When all this is done, I'm saying this would make one of the greatest series ever.
You better start writing.
So if you have the equipment
and the means and the skill to write a script,
start writing this thing, man. It would be a nice series.
It would be a nice series. You've got yourself a winner.
Just the series about SAPS, how they deal with things, and the lawyers combined together. I'm just saying, it will be a very nice series, very watchable. And I think it has never been produced.
Blockbuster type of things. It would be just narrate being in the shoes of Ntanzi. Just the whole
Not
thing.
only Ntanzi, just the general whole case. Just study it again, start afresh. If you need to watch Mzansi narrating the scripts and discuss. Just giving you ideas if you guys are producing them.
Make those series. Come on now. So it is my first time hearing that I abandoned bail is what Ntanzi said. And Sibanda said the court went on further to say yes. And Mr. Mjiyakho said they were still engaged with the state with regards to other matters. Ntanzi said, I still say that Mjiyakho did not even visit me in prison to consult with me. You know, he has never done that. What the current counsel is currently doing, visiting me in prison to come and consult with me, he has never done that. So in my opinion, these people really took advantage of Ntanzi's lack of knowledge and understanding of the legal system. But experience is the best teacher.
But
right now, he knows what is supposed to happen.
Hey, whoever thought of this whole thing, if it's true, the way it is panning
and
out.
how they picked Ntanzi.
But coming up with Mjiyakho then, to make matters even look legit.
Yeah.
And that is if anything that is said by Ntanzi is truthful. And I'm just puzzled that there's someone, instead of going and kissing their kids goodnight, playing with their kids in a zoo, and chilling with their families,
going shopping to buy them clothing,
they are sitting down.
It's been 4 years of that
writing this humongous scripting that we have never seen.
One thing we also need is those register visits of Mjiyakho visiting him in the cells, please.
Don't ask for them.
No, they're gonna come.
Please don't ask for them.
They're going to come.
You don't have expect to read and look at the paper and tell you when it was written. Don't ask.
Don't. Rather not.
Like
people are very, very writing and creative.
And then you'll be asking for an expert. Next thing, the states provide an expert.
Whatever happened to handwrite experts?
Who's gonna come and
they
explain?
used to exist. Are they still there, guys? Do we still have handwriting experts in the courts?
Who's gonna come and say this paper was
the texture
of the writing here? You can tell that the pen was those pens that they came on 2020.
Yes.
You can tell
we need somebody like that with the whole writing.
No, I'm saying the state one will come and say that.
Oh, they'll come and say that
this
instead of telling
pen.
us the ink, instead of telling us the how old. Pella, a paper can tell you how old it's been sitting in a file, how many years it's been sitting in a. But those are not considered. Some of them are even typed. Ntanzi said, I would not say whether he was present or not because he never approached me, even when the court adjourned, like the way Mr. Ramisipili and Gomezulu do things, coming to me and informing me of the proceedings for the next day, Then Sibanda said, are you disputing what is said in this document? Ntanzi said, I never said whether he was present or not. I was going to be happy knowing that I'd return to work. Pressed on Mjiyakho's presence, Ntanzi said that he will not be able to tell. Advocate Baloyi was whispering something to Sibanda with a smile on his face, where he was like, you know what? It gave the vibes that, ngathi bayawina, for some reason. It felt that way.
I saw that face.
I was like, I haven't seen Advocate Baloyi smile in a while.
I saw that face.
Smiling?
I saw that face.
Are they winning? I'm so confused.
Is that face that comes after my lord, my learned friend is I think we will not venture into that, my lord.
Then Sibanda said Mjiyakho addressed the court about further engagements with the state, and Ntanzi said, I differ with what is being said here. Who told him that I had a matter in Rustenburg? Who even informed him about this matter? And Sibanda said, that's what we are going to find out. Who informed him? And this is the person who referred to him as his client. Advocate Nisi stood to object to this line of questioning. It is Mr. Ntanzi who appears to be Mr. Mjiyakho's client. Where does the state get that information from? And Sibanda said, I'm saying exactly what Mr. Mnisi is saying today. Accused person, I want to know, because here it even says my client on the proceedings of the 30th of July 2020. Mnisi said, I feel legally and morally obliged to assist. The purpose of a cross-examination is not to trick a witness. The purpose is to assist the court to come to a just and equitable finding. It does not help the court for a cross-examiner to trick a witness in order to get to a particular point. This witness has consistently been saying, at no point was Mr. Mjiyakho introduced to me by the court. Whether Mr. Mjiyakho is saying this is my client or this is not my client, that information did not filter down to the witness. This witness consistently says, I've never knew Mr. Mjiyakho, nor did the court ever ask him if Mr. Mjiyakho was his attorney. So that everything comes from this witness. And Sibanda said that he's going according to the record. He denied playing tricks to the witness. Well, you were playing tricks. That's why I kept pointing them out, because now I could notice them as I go through this with you guys, that actually he has been playing these tricks for quite some time. It's just that I wasn't paying attention as I was listening, you know? I wasn't paying attention that you are actually tricking Ntanzi in your questioning. You are not seeking justice or the truth. You just want him to be entrapped in a lot of contradictions that will help you argue to say that he's a liar or assassinate his character, instead of getting the truth from him. So Mnisi said that the state needed to contextualize the answers that are coming from the witness.
I can never have Mjiyakho on the stand, even if there's no client and the lawyer privilege thing. No. He's fine like that.
Yeah, let him be there.
Let him be there in Cape Town.
Because he will want to use this to clear whatever happened here.
Let him be in Cape Town and deal with
I
what
don't care anymore.
Cape Townians do.
He can
what
stay
they
in
do
the
that
Cape
side.
Bar.
He just focus on Cape Town.
Yeah, No. I don't see a need for him. This record
Don't
is
even
speaking for
open
itself.
that can of worm.
Yes, the record is speaking for itself. I don't think I even need, because I remember we asked for Kininda and I'm exhausted. I feel like this trial should shut down after Brigadier Kininda testified. Honestly speaking now. You all heard the testimony. That testimony is not giving lead investigator vibes. You know, it's not leading, this is how I pinned this accused. This is how I got to arrest him. It's because I found that DNA at the crime scene.
After Ntanzi said, this is not my lawyer. This was never my lawyer.
Yes.
The honors is with the states to bring all the evidence they can bring. So
bring us that instruction.
We cannot call Mjiyakho here.
We're going to be another drag of subsequent to that effect. I'm tired. I am exhausted. So a witness has been consistently saying, even the court never verified with me that I'm Mr. Mjiyakho's client, and that is the procedure. If the state says he was Mr. Mjiyakho's client without verifying with the witness, it's a gross misrepresentation of fact. If that information does not come from him, client and attorney relationship is a relationship based on urgency and principle. The principle says, I don't know this person. Otherwise, we are wasting time in this type of cross-examination, my lord. And Sibanda said that he's trying to elicit information from the witness. He can comment if he can't. Then
with that smack smile.
But then still, he's been telling you don't want to accept his answer. That's what it's giving. He's been saying you the same thing 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 10 times this day alone, and you still won't take his answer.
You said the judge was quiet.
Yeah,
right?
he was. Today he wasn't.
Did you notice that when Nisi murdered that Sibanda guy, the judge then got in a box now?
Yeah. He started doing that thing of his again.
You know that theory that if you want to have owner of a dog, you must murder the dog. You'll see the owner will come up jumping.
Because now the judge was awake. All this time he said, who put judge?
When he was perjuring everything. And then next thing, the judge is back.
He woke up. I was like, okay, you are back. We had forgotten that you are
Nisi smacked the dog.
The owner.
As the dog was busy making the noise and squirming and then came out.
Well, the judge ruled that Sibanda should proceed and that he will argue that point later. Well, Sibanda continued and said, do you know what engagement Mjiyakho was talking about? And Ntanzi said that he didn't know. He's lying. And Sibanda turned to the appearance on the 27th of October 2020.
So those engagement, this is now the deal.
The deal.
That never materialized, by the way. Hey, this is Mjiyakho.
So, and that also brings to question the people that think Ntanzi is lying about the 3 million. Where would that come from? Because court record iti, there are discussions happening between the investigation officers. So this was the first appearance in the Meyiwa murder case where Mjiyakho confirmed his appearance on behalf of Ntanzi. So Ntanzi confirmed that Mr. Mjiyakho was present, and Sibanda said, was it the same person who had appeared on your behalf previously? And Ntanzi said, I don't know. He was wearing glasses and a mask.
Consistently, even if you come backside, front side, left side, it doesn't matter. The answer is the person was wearing a mask. In short, I could not see that person
be able
to compare if this is the same person, because that person was not consulting with me, so I don't know.
Sibanda now turned to the proceedings of the 22nd of January 2021 in Kabani Court when Ntanzi was asked if he had terminated the services of Mr. Mjiyakho. Ntanzi said that, please repeat the date. And Sibanda said the 22nd of January. And Ntanzi said, yes, I do not remember the date when I terminated his services. And Sibanda says that that Miss Chia that withdrew as the attorney on record. Ntanzi said, my lord, I terminated her services as well. She tried to inform the court about Mjiyakho, but I raised my hand that she must be removed. At the court at Tlhabane, there was a Miss Chia now.
You know, I would, in all honest, it's a good thing that these lawyers are coming out like this, because now you want to go and consult, next thing you find yourself in their doorstep.
Hey. Can all court cases be made public?
Next thing you find yourself in certain deals that you never intended to have.
Hey, amanye amaloya la ngaphandle.
Hayi khona asisho ukuthi sithini ahambanga kahle.
Yeah, and another thing that I also wanted to point out is that I don't know who was testifying about Gia, but it's not the first time. This person was saying that Miss Gialo was with Mjiyakho. I don't know whether it was the narration of accused number 2 by Mgomezulu or something. I don't quite remember. And they said
I can confirm that they are in the same company.
Oh, they are in the same company.
They were in the same company.
Because they said she presented a card that was also written Mjiyakho attorneys. She also presented that card that was written Mjiyakho attorneys as well.
Yeah. So think about it. Mjiyakho becomes the director of this company. And most probably brings other people. And then conveniently, when this case is moving now to be under media, Mjiyakho is addressing the court through the letter. He couldn't wait for the media to just succeed in applying for that, and then we see him.
And then we see him. Wabo. And his
presentation.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, this is my opinion. I'm not saying that is, but yeah, hey, when things were starting to move into bigger courts, not even the people who were part of that company, other directors of that company, Mjiyakho attorneys, were available to assist when Mjiyakho was in need of them because of the circumstances that was happening at home. How convenient. Not even a junior.
And we all know how the media, look at Mr. Mgomezulu, for example. The media can find information. That's all I'm going to say. Even with the Besta case, There were some lawyers who had to abruptly, excuse themselves because the media was there. And he was then asked what the way forward was. Okay, so Ntanzi said, yes, I did request to be given an attorney. Sibanda turned to another appearance when Mjiyakho was representing accused but had finished a letter of withdrawal which was read into the record, and Ntanzi said, I fired him. He did not withdraw. There's a difference. Okay, Ntanzi still insists ukuthi mina ngamxosha mina. He didn't withdraw from.
Now the letter is addressing now the court to say that which is procedural value, you must address the court, but because there was no one to represent the whole company, they had to write to NPA and pass that message through NPA.
Ntanzi said, my lord, the prosecutor should have made it clear that I am the one that terminated his services. And Sibanda said it further says that Mr. Ntanzi had not given them financial instructions. Who initially gave financial instructions? That is the question. Who was paying Mr. Mjiyakho?
The answer is no one.
Well, Ntanzi said, who was paying them all along? My mother would not be able to afford to pay him and support my children. Sibanda then read the letter where Mjiyakho said that he could not be present due to a family bereavement and asked that the withdrawal be confirmed. And that concluded the cross-examination, hallelujah, of Sibanda. Hosiyabonga. Thank you so much. We are done with the cross-examination of Sibanda. It's been long and tiring and exhausting. Ramasipili now started with his re-examination, and Ramasipili started with 22nd of January 2021 when Ntanzi indicated that he wanted to open a case against Mjiyakho. Why did you want to open a case against Mr. Mjiyakho, he asked, and Ntanzi said, Mr. Mjiyakho did not inform the court that I was assaulted. Secondly, he lied and said he was sent by my family. Thirdly, he left me in the cells and went to court and said that I was sick. And
where
also,
is the medical proof that Ntanzi was sick?
Where is it? Where is it? By which doctor? And also to find out who had been paying
Why did that
him.
court not ask for it?
Why did that? Good question. When they say they accused, Uyakumbula, there was a time accused number 5 was ill and the proceedings could not go on because Judge Rata said it would be unfair if he were to continue without accused number 5 while the case is pertaining him. The case is against them. So none of the accused cannot afford not to be in court while the trial is happening. So how come that magistrate did not ask for proof that he was indeed sick while his lawyer only shows up by themselves? It's a good question, Mr. Anonymous.
Someone is firing facts here.
Well, Ramasipili read where the case is transferred to the regional court in Tlhabane, where he would appoint a legal aid lawyer. So we adjourned until tomorrow. What is that person saying? What fact? It sounded like you wanted to say something.
Oh, someone is saying, good morning, Mr. Anonza. Sis Emily.
Morning.
I've been listening quite a lot and I had the deja vu. Please go and watch the live in court arrest of Advocate Difoma Lisela. When the police officer arrested him, his rights were not read to him. And then he says, live in the presence of the media. While the LPC painted him like a madman, they disbarred him in his absence without a formal charges. His lawyers were coercing him to give in his fingerprints so that they charge him officially. Now.
And it's happening to a whole advocate.
Yes.
Wena,
And then someone
mina.
is saying, "Hi, Mr. Anonymous and Emil. In fact, Ntanzi said the man was wearing izibuko amadimas. It's interpreted that said it's the interpreter that said sunglasses. Yeah. And then let me see. I'm just gonna read. It's so painful seeing Ntanzi going through this. We wanted justice and closure for Senzo, so now my anger is doubled.
Yeah.
ANC will lose votes because of this case. I've lost hope in anyone who wants to become my president. Instead of fixing, they will go to the other countries knowing what they are doing, what they are doing there. Others with the case borders while Ntanzi is going through pain. All these politicians are the same. Since no one is fighting for this big case for Senzo, I have lost trust, hope. Laba aba nemilomo emikhulu, the politicians, what can they voice out for the peace, for Senzo? Senzo will never sleep peacefully. Shame. I never met him, neither parents fan,
Yeah.
but I feel the pain. They must just let 5 accused go home and rest. They have been through a lot. Should they arrest them? People are hungry, and another Zuma will happen allegedly. If people vote for Senzo and Ntanzi, they can get 80%, I think. As long as the real killer is not found, I don't see any point of voting. It's hard to watch TV or listen to music because of hope that I don't want to miss that day when there will be closure to me and move on with my life. My work performance is very bad because of Sibanda. Can Sibanda use his energy and experience to Kelly and Longwe? Sibanda, he's more like a crutch lawyer. He must interrogate kids, as a parent. When you want to know who stole your 50 cent, that's his line of interrogation. When I sleep, I dream of Ntanzi and Senzo. I don't even know them personally. That's...
You guys are really, really going through it. Yo.
And then, let me see. Mr. Anonymous, you are putting it politely. Okay, this was yesterday. Oh, yesterday was...
No, it was just an hour ago.
Mr. Anonymous, you are putting it politely. The dentist worked above his scope of practice. I pray that no one will report him to HPSA. How possible for a person with a cardiac condition to work underground in cluster and environment? Akuhambanga kahle kwi-script salaba bantu. Someone else talked about the statement with blood. It's between Senzo Meyiwa, therefore, or Netflix documentary. Medical people will tell you there are 2 types of torture: physical and mentally, psychological.
Yes.
The fact that he did not take bath for days, they knew what they were doing. They were messing his psychological part, and that's torture. Booking him out the whole day, and the night they were also messing his mental state, and that's torture. Sadly, the old government did the same to our parents. Sibanda keeps on saying the dentist injuries also divided into 2, visible and non-visible. So how was a dentist going to diagnose soft tissues, internal injuries caused by tubing? The reason they didn't take him to district surgeon or hospital, they know that the doctors and the nurses don't diagnose injuries by just looking, but use investigations. Can Ntanzi demand a letter of appointment from Mjiyakho and proof of payment? Because the big question that we need from the state is, who hired Mjiyakho? Who hired Mjiyakho? Let me see. Hello guys, the state is fighting a losing battle. Nothing is going their way. The accused stood up for their freedom. Baloyi is smart. He sees the dead and gives Sibanda the rope to hang himself, to hang the state. Sibanda, Baloyi, Gininda, Rapadu, and the whole crew never thought the guy could survive up to now. They are still in shock. What is the record of Sibanda? How many cases did he handle? Someone said he's been doing this for 12 years, so he's not a junior. Is that what you guys are saying?
Why is he so rusty?
He's to me. Good morning, Mr. Nmas and Emily. I thought he was a junior.
Me too.
Right. Let me see. Someone is saying all this is alleged, guys. I don't want to.
We're reading the comments from you guys. We're reading your comments.
Yeah, I think I have covered almost everything. And today his only charge that he is incarcerated for is only contempt of court, refusal to be taken fingerprints. His little kids, wife and parents are without him. It's not funny that all the advocates who are shaking up the dark, they get charged and disrespected by the court itself. That is someone still continuing with what Defo is going through. Right, now we're here. Please like the video, share the video. Ansi Moyo, Emily Law says it, say it again. Besitiniwe.
Hey. Usibanda. Siyabonga baba. Umkhulu.
Right, next.
Sibanda.
The green suit. Teletabi suit. Right, Dipuo Likala Kala. Sibanda needs to go back to learn Dom Nyani, and that is alleged. That is not us. That is Dipuo saying it. David Mabuza akuhambanga kahle Anonymous. Yes, Zozo and Zozo Mhlangu. Well, they are answering each other. I'm just getting Dumiso, Dooms. What if Mjiyakho is Sibanda 2.0? Yeah, people are just saying things. Guys, you can call. The
lines are open now, you guys. You can share your opinion. And yeah, he's in the cave bar.
Yes. Then he moved to cave bar. I know Mjiyakho Kim Zalwani. Yeah?
Kim Zalwani.
Yeah?
Kim Zalwani. Read the rest.
Yeah, he said that. Dipuo Likala.
Kim Zalwani.
Kala. Yes. Said that. Then that's not us. Moodley, Mr. Nmas, what effect in public view, therefore was arrested without being read
his rights.
Yes. Seha, and let me remember, Seha Mezi is from Botswana, and he said, is it Australia? But it's from Botswana. I saw there. Please remind me if you can. Thank you, guys.
In Australia. How is Australia?
I think, yeah, guys, you can call the WhatsApp, the line, anything. I'm just going through the comments. Yes. There you go. Zanzi, hello.
Emily, how are you?
Hi.
Hi. I just want to comment about the diagnosis of the heart problem for Ntanzi by this dentist.
Yes.
You see, Mr. Anonymous, I am from a medical background, right?
Yes.
What I know is that, like, if you are suspecting that your patient could be having like a situation like with a heart problem of some sort, you have to do what are called interventions. By interventions, I mean it's a referral to a specialist such as a cardiologist in this case, right?
Yes.
So if you haven't done the interventions as like sending a referral to a qualified personnel who is able to do that diagnosis, then I don't know what that means, because you see where I am, you need to be responsible for your actions. And if you're not responsible for your actions, like, you will be in deep trouble. We always have that saying, like, do everything to cover your back. By saying do everything to cover your back, it means like do the right thing, because you're accountable. You have your PIN number, like your license number, to protect. So you can never do anything like shoddy work. You cannot do that. So everything must be there and everything must be written. So if it's not written, it's deemed as not done. You get me? So I just don't understand. Like a dentist like goes to an extent of making that diagnosis, and you go to a court of law and present that. It's weird. It screams weird in capital letters. Like, I don't understand how things work, because you see, like here, like when we are looking in at countries from Africa, like South Africa, it's ranked like to be like one of the best in Africa in terms of medically, right? Even the nurses that are coming from South Africa, like when they come in the hospitals, you can see the level of competence is a bit higher than nurses who are coming from other countries, because we believe that, like, you see, like we know, like I know I'm South African, right? I'm based overseas. I know, like, okay, in our hospitals, our nurses, they are always like practicing every time. They don't lose their skills, because there is equipment in the hospitals. They are doing all those things. So you see, I don't get it. Honestly, I don't get it. And it's putting the name of our country into disrepute, because you see, like when such things happen, right, you see people from these countries, right, they'll start having questions like, okay, the dentist is able to do a diagnosis and he takes this report to the court and the court accepts that. What does that say about like our education system, like in terms of people who are deemed to be professionals, who are registered under the medical council? You get me? So a lot of people are watching this case, and things like this can never be left unabated. That's, like it's just putting a dent on the image of health professionals in South Africa. Yeah, that's my contribution, because like I was just thinking about it, like at work, I'm like, I just don't understand this. I just don't know, Yes. I don't get it. Like whatever thing that they were trying to do here, they didn't really think about it so well. Yeah. Like here they really flopped. And it needs someone like from the defense team, like who might have an idea of how things work, to ask those questions, like how did that happen? You get me? Anyway, thank you so much. I just want to give other people a chance. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Yes, Mr. Anonymous, it's Malmo in Sweden. Yes, all the way from Botswana is in Sweden. Zlatan place.
Sweden.
And the caller, spot on. Thank you very much for your contribution. Please like the video. Mzansi, hello.
Hello, Emily and Anonymous.
Hi, sir. How are you?
Good, thanks, and you?
Not bad. It's all good.
Mr. Anonymous and Emily Ntanzi is too clever. And even the defense team, medical law over Kisibanda court. As currently we speak, mining.
Yeah.
Medical law over Kisibanda is coming from the mining, not to the dentist. And Ntanzi knows very well how to medical law to go dentist. And the defense area is, but I'm sure they didn't know about what produce evidence, because it's from the medical law is from the mine, not from the dentist.
Wow.
Yeah. No, look,
That's interesting.
Thank you.
Thank you for calling. Wow.
So someone is suggesting that medical reading was actually from the mind,
the medical
side.
side.
The medical side of the. So the doctor is just there to read it, and that's an allegation, obviously, and it's a nice point of.
That would also put him in a disrepute, because how did he get access to that without Ntanzi's permission?
Right. Someone is saying, guys, please read this is on WhatsApp.
Okay.
I don't know where to start. It's today. I read this yesterday, the section 201. I read it. I'm not sure if it was the same person, the section 201, that prevents the Mjiyakho to come and testify.
Yeah, we read it yesterday.
But to think about this Mjiyakho guy, if he wasn't appointed by Gininde and Ntanzi, found his lawyer, it was going to be a problem for the team that was investigating this, because Ntanzi was going to tell a state lawyer everything. So Gininde putting Mjiyakho as a cover up for themselves. That's why this guy never consulted with Ntanzi even a single day. I hope this second text will make it clear what I'm trying to say. It is very clear, but
Wow, because I even questioned the solitary confinement situation.
And all is
I
an
don't
age.
want to
Mzansi,
put it
hello.
as solitary confinement, but it is.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, and you?
Not bad. Not bad.
You know, you've never asked me my name. Am I going to be Ms. Anonymous?
Yes,
you can be anonymous, or you can just give the name if you want to.
If you want to.
I want to give my name.
Please do.
I want to give my name.
Yes, please
do.
give
I don't
it.
mind being in the public.
You don't mind.
We shoot.
That's great.
Shoot.
Give us your name.
Okay. My name is Juanita Chitepo.
Okay.
Juanita.
Chitepo.
Yes, Juanita. Chitepo.
Chitepo.
So I'm South African.
Yes.
My surname is Zimbabwean.
Okay.
You can Google it.
Chitepo.
Okay, Chitepo.
Yes.
But I'll take
Juanita.
Juanita.
Yes, and my
Hi,
AKA. Hi, my AKA is African Gypsy.
Okay.
African Gypsy.
African Gypsy.
Yes.
Yes. So what I found interesting today is that there's something I wanted to talk about for a long time. And Emily said something today that was a direct sign that I should talk about it today. You spoke about the theater, the drama in this story.
Yes.
You spoke about, somebody making a film even. Now, I'm in theater, and my mind, my thoughts for a while have been taken up by something else. My thoughts have been taken up by the drama that we seem to have moved away from now, and that is what happened in the house and who was involved.
Yes.
Because this trial, it's so bullshit, really, that for me, it's now a case of, it's so insensible that I can't even use my wits and my sensibilities to predict what is going to happen next. Who is going to be called? What are they going to be asked? Because everything is so nonsensical at the moment. For me, also, what I can't get my head around is there isn't a single witness so far that has fingered 5 different people. So there's no scenario that can actually, justify 5 people in a dock. Where what we don't have is, we don't have a public trial. We have a public investigation, which is a bad investigation.
Yeah.
So there's theater in that already. But I'm interested in something else, because besides the fact that no story has 5 people in it, let alone the fact that of those 5 people, not one has dreadlocks or a gold tooth. And the starting point of that whole dreadlocks, for example, was Kelly's mother, if I'm not mistaken. So, all of that makes no sense to me in the first place.
Yeah.
But what I'm still interested in is what happened in that house.
Yeah.
And for me, the starting point of that is who in that house had motive even for something to get so out of hand that an act of passion led to death, whether it was accidental or not. To me, you know, like you, Mr. Anonymous, I like to watch crime. I find it relaxing. I can go to sleep to it. You know, while
I'm glad I'm not alone.
Yeah, I'm obsessed. So for me, it's always about motive at the end of the day. You don't find even false people being accused and charged. Even people who haven't done it, they're only accused and they're only charged if there's some way to prove a motive.
Yes.
Even if everything else is circumstantial. And in this case, I can't think of one single motive, not one,
No.
that has been proven. Not one. Forget evidence, of which there's none. There's no motive. You know? So I want to go back to Kelly because she's the one who interests me in the story. And if I had to make a play about this, it would tell many, many, many stories. Even the sisters of the accused, their stories too, you know. They're very interesting, both of them. Or one of them. I'm not sure if I'm confusing one for two or if there are two sisters involved in some way or the other.
Yeah.
I'm not sure because there was one who gave an interview with a white dude as well a few years ago. That I found by accident on YouTube.
Yes.
For me, it's about Kelly, and I would go back to her childhood. What kind of person is Kelly? How does she solve problems? You know, because to me, there was a lot of emotion on that day. There was a lot of emotion potentially on that day when you look at, I put myself in Kelly's shoes, basically, is what I did. I put myself in Kelly's shoes and first of all, okay, I'm a singer as well, right? I sing.
Yeah.
I put myself in Kelly's shoes and I looked at the video of the results of that singing competition that she was in. That was the first time she really got into the small limelight. And she came second.
Yes.
There was an Indian girl with an unpronounceable name that came first, who we never saw again.
Yes.
And I watched some of the clips of that and I felt very hurt and very disappointed for Kelly because she should have won that competition.
Also thought.
And she tried to handle it with grace at the time. She was young, but in her, I could relate. I could, even right now when I'm thinking about it, I can feel what that girl was feeling, knowing she should have won that competition.
Yeah.
She's a feisty individual and she's a winner. She is not somebody who is prepared to lose easily in life, right? So now you have a scenario where you are dating and you've had a baby with a fresh baby. You just have a new baby with this guy who is about to be South Africa's next biggest, you know, Beckham at the end of the day. You know, he's not just good at his game, he's good looking, he's sexy, he's all that. And their romance was rather, you know, it wasn't public in a way that, oh, people are dating and now we're taking selfies. It wasn't an AKA type, you know, Nadia thing. It was something where we actually watched their flirtation even on camera, you know, on TV. And now you've had this man's baby. We know there's been drama with his wife. There's a wife involved, other children. Kelly's not a number two. Kelly is a number one. Anybody who watches her reality show will see that, you know. And on that day, you have something special planned, right? That's the other thing. I can't see how people can, you know, set up a killing of someone when you don't even know how the day was going to end up. Because their day ended up being something it was not supposed to be. If you're going to hire someone to kill someone, you don't take chances, you know. So that just makes no sense even. So for me, on that day, Kelly actually experienced everything that would lead to what we call a woman scorned. Because there's a friend who doesn't care. He's there for a good time of Senzo's. And there's another friend who is a friend of the wife.
Yeah.
Kelly is really now ready for a performance. And Senzo was going to be there in public with her at that performance. As an artist, a performing artist, I know what the buzz is, how you prepare your mind and your body to vibe with an audience. Mm. It's a big thing. Mm. You know, you have to even rest for it.
Yeah.
It starts when you start taking your bath, you're putting on your makeup, you are building yourself up to something big, especially when you are a singer. And now, coupled with that, it's your moment with this man, you know, where you're going to scream to the public and he's there by your side saying, I'm hers, and you are saying, he's mine. You know, it's a big moment for her. And it bombs. It doesn't work out. That is a big crash for someone like Kelly. It's an emotional downer. So it's the first downer. Then there's another downer, besides all that driving around and blah, blah, blah. And the fact of the matter is everybody knows in South Africa they're underplaying their drinking. We all drink in this country. We're all South Africans. Anybody else who says what they're telling is the truth about the alcohol is a liar themselves. Yeah. We all know. Yeah. We all have done it and do it. So then they go to this party. And now, okay, she's getting over the disappointment of being on stage and it not happening and being there with him. And because that's a big disappointment, to be prepared for a public performance and it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Now you're going to this party and there's a politic going on where the embarrassment and humiliation of you can't go inside. Your blood is beginning to boil. Even me too, by the end of this day, I might have killed somebody, really, honestly, if I was in her shoes. Because you've also got the hormones of just having had a baby. And that is a reality. Plus you're drinking on top of that.
Yes.
So now all of this unexpected thing, you end up at your mom's house, but there's a vibe. There's a vibe going on about the wife at the party. There's still that disappointment of, you know, the gig not happening and everybody's drinking. And I am just speculating and alleging. Nothing I'm saying is fact. As I'm saying, I put myself in her shoes. I was creating a scenario from like a theatrical point of view of what if I was this character.
Yes.
And having watched Kelly's show and being a mom of adult girls myself, and I'm not really like, you know, bothered by somebody else's idea of what a culture is. The fact of the matter is if my girls are having a drink, I have a drink too. And from what I've seen of Kelly's show, and she's a public person. She's put herself out there. And you know what? This smacks of a lot of money, and Kelly's got a lot of money, even more than any, like other artists. There are other artists, but they're better artists than Kelly. They don't have biographers. A biographer costs money.
Yeah.
It does.
She's got this reality show, blah, blah, blah. There's something, there's power behind her. Whether that power is spiritual or whether that power is just business, I don't know, but she's got something.
Yeah.
And someone like this losing in love, this day is going on and on. I'm sure that from that reality show and what I've seen, the mom has a drink. It's not two. I'm speculating. So everybody in the house is having a drink, blah, blah, blah. The children, as far as I'm concerned, from what little I heard, you know, of the trial from the start, because only started somewhere in the middle, is that everybody was pretty much neglectful. The kids were just there. It was a very selfish adult thing that was going on.
Yeah.
And now these two are smoking outside, or one is smoking outside, Senzo is there. There's all this talk about going back to the party and without Kelly. Plus in between, you know, the other one's boyfriend is coming and they're going to buy soup. You know, if it was me and I went with my guy who's about to leave me to go back to a party where I was supposed to be because his wife is there.
Yeah.
I can just only imagine that conversation on the way to buy that soup. Because if it was me, and you can ask my boyfriend, 100% I was going to be nagging, moaning, itching the whole way. Because that's what women do, especially when you are really emotionally involved with someone and your personality is like that. And artists have those personalities. That's a fact. You know? So at the end of the day, you've got all that happening. And then she comes out. They were going to leave. And he's being convinced by his friend. He's got his baby mama on this side. And then she comes out and says, my mom says you can't leave. It's bad manners, without saying goodbye. To me, that's a ploy. That's what mothers and daughters even do when we're getting involved in our children's relationship. Kelly's moaning to her mother inside. These two are plotting outside what should be done, blah, 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 blah. And, and then you are told, come inside. Because to me, if I was imagining the scenario, it would be me. I'm talking with my mother, my sister, I'm saying this, that, and the other. And the mother's like, and it's like, no, call him here. I'm going to tell him he's been eating in my house, drinking in my house. Now he's just going to go and without saying goodbye. That's a way to make him stay. And it's a way to also create a further drama. Because Kelly now has an opportunity to but why are you even going in the first place? That's the rudeness. And then suddenly you are outside. All of this is going on. You're about to leave. You call inside. And then suddenly there's 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 intruders, a shooting. And now years and years and years and years after the fact, there's no evidence. The house was cleaned. The neighbors saw nothing where there were supposedly 12 people in a space where even 5 would have been a lot. To me, none of that makes sense unless there was an act of passion that went wrong. And to me, it all leads down to a woman scorned. It may be that whoever that scuffle, this, that, and the other, it may be that whoever pulled that trigger doesn't even know it was them. They're unsure. The fact of the matter is they're not telling the truth. And now you've got 5 men whose lives are basically entangled in something that is actually, tragedy is not even a good enough word. Tragedy is for Shakespeare. This is inhuman. So yeah, if I was going to make a play about it, I would really start with the emotional, psychological aspects where there are patterns of behavior amongst people that can be believed, and I would start there. Again, I think we've come so far away from the scene of the crime.
Yes, we have.
That's my opinion, if I had to make a play. And it'd be a musical.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hopefully it's
all right, you take one more thing. Maybe it's too much work, but I have a request if it's possible.
Okay.
Sure.
All this journeying up and down of the police that we've heard the versions of now. There's the AVR version, the police version, the accused version.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Is it possible, and the time spent, is it possible to maybe put that on a little map of some kind that you can show us or put in the comments as a picture so that we can see it? I feel like I'd be able to make much more sense of what's going on if I can, because I don't know all these places, so well. So to try and imagine the directions and the distances, if I could see that, it would make so much more sense to me, the detail of it. But I don't know if that's a lot to ask.
Let's see if we can.
Is it a lot to ask, Mr. Anonymous?
Let's see if we can.
You know what? I could probably do something like that if I had
Please
transcripts.
do it.
If you were to just write down for me, if you had to make a list of, cop A said we started here so many minutes, we went there. If you just give me that, I can find it on the map and make the plots for you.
Yeah. Let's see what we can do.
Okay.
For me, it's
Okay.
a lot.
Thank you. Have a good morning and day and evening.
Thank
Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you so much for calling.
Why I gave the caller a chance? Because more chance. Because
No one is calling.
no, it's interesting.
Oh, it was interesting.
It was interesting.
The
All is alleged, and I must say,
theater of the
I must
mind.
say, the theory is not far from the theory I also created, but I would not say it. I don't want to say it. No. I wanted to answer this, but the theory is really not far. That's why I was actually laughing, but I didn't wanna. Mzansi, hello.
Yebo kunjani?
Siyaphila futhi njani?
Yaphela.
Yes.
Sacela ukukhuluma kumzansi ngazi mina.
Shaya baba shaya kukhona impela ukhona usendaweni right shaya.
Sanibona njani?
Siphila kakhulu mfowethu wenu njani?
Siyaphela.
Yeah.
Hayi cha nathi la siyalandela icala ngathini elikantanzi elibekwe yena cause vele kumayelana naye konke kubanjwe yena mawuvikela nje untanzi usutha istate sonke uzoboshwa nokuboshwa anaba nothefo nabo baboshwa yena asola mina engikushoyo ngiyaxolisa nje okungazisho igama okuwukuthi leqala ngisaba kakhulu manje ngendlela nje eseliviva ngakhona lana into engiyibukayo wena kunento mhlawumbe esinokuyikhuluma kulezi zinto zethu ku TikTok ku Facebook omakuthiukwane noma kushiwoni ngomunye umuntu kanje ukuthi amaZulu awafundile amaZulu ayizitabo astabon ake ngibeke nje kanjalo ora amaZulu akanjanjanyana akunabantu abangagcina ngokusho lokho abantu abanjengogininza abantu abayithatha lo information bayisebenzisa angisho nje kanjalo kanje ngoba nje lecala lakhe nje enze nje kanje kulecala likaMeyiwa uthathe vele wona yena kanje ubuyazi uStivesa amaZulu ayazi ukuthi ayizinkabi kwasha wacima wathatha nje wafunza le case ukuthi lecala lelenu kanje bavese nathi kwi countries of believer kanje wavesa amaZulu kanje basena sazi futhi ukuthi nabantu abaphuma le emakhaya awukuthi ukhulile nabantu abaphuma le emakhaya abazazi izinto unokuthi wena udla amascopas bakutshela ukuthi ezo inkobe zimnandi uthi haya amascopas na yabo nje kanjalo wena uthi noma uyiphuzane edrink yakho acele ukuthi mfowethu angiphuzisa nami lo lemon ubuza ukuthi yini manje lemon idrink njalo so lento lena inkulu kakhulu yale case because even the media uma uyilalela SABC ne-newsroom NCA against uNtanzi and kahle uma ba-reporter ngale ndlela ukuthi thina sibone ukuthi ngazathi uNtanzi uyaphika amacala akhe sengazathi ukhuluma into eyimix engezwakali sengazathi usephika konke or into ayikhulumayo ayina sense kodwa umayilandela le case le uyibuka every day uyabona ukuthi uNtanzi akusho kunomqondo mfowethu so manje ke angazi uNtanzi nje angazi ukuthi angenza njani imkhuleko noma zinyanga noma aye olwandle ayogeza khona kodwa kukhulu kwakhe
hayi mfowethu sibonga kakhulu
hayi cha siyabonga alesho niyasinceda wena kakhulu ukuthi sikwazi nathi kubeka imbonelo
siyabonga mfowethu
yebo
Mzansi, hello.
Hey, hi, Mr. Arno and Sis Emily.
Hi,
sir. How are you?
I'm good, and thanks to a great show, and thanks to everyone who is also watching. And we all stay up. We don't sleep before we watch your show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. My name is SK. I'm calling from Sydney, Australia.
Yes.
I think Sis Emily earlier was saying, was wondering how it is here, but it's all good. A bit warm here and there, it's raining, but pretty good. Because Australia is pretty much same as South Africa comes to weather.
The weather.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's all good. I've got my points. I jotted them down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so I'll be quick. So first one is Ntanzi.
Yes.
Just him being able to handle Sibanda for 4 consecutive days. I know, like yesterday, Sis Emily was a little bit dejected because she was worried about the response Ntanzi was going to give, but he redeemed himself today. He was actually okay, and I like his responses when sometimes he's asking even Sibanda, does that what you're asking, does it make sense to you, or what way is this, if you think this is what is new? So it's actually very good. I can commend you. I mean, for a first time, it's actually good. So I can relate. That was one. And then the second thing, I actually liked, I mean, for all this time, the judge has been quiet, and then boom, 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 he says, "Oh, do you think the police officers are all conspiring?" I said, "Oh, what a stupid question. If these police officers were serious about the injuries, if they were serious, they would have noted the injuries on the hand. Because those cuffs, when they are tightened, your hands get swollen. It will be swollen. So when someone just looks at your hand, you say, what happened to your hand? But if the police officers never wrote it in not even one OB book, then how can you believe that the police officers were writing what they were saying? Even the dentist guy, just looking at the hand that has been tightened and it's swollen, you have to say, what happened? What's going on with your hand? And you record that was one. So I said, I wrote down that I loved Ntanzi's response to the judge, because the judge has been quiet all of a sudden and then comes up with this stupid question. Yeah. And then Mjiyakho, I don't know where the state gets this theory that for as long as Mjiyakho is in court and they're saying he's representing Ntanzi, it means he knows. No, it means nothing. Whether you're in court and you're representing us, but if you don't have a mandate, you're just like standing, like me standing in a court taking notes. And it's up to them to actually bring peace. I was wondering, if those visits at the prison or in police cells, those books or a visitor's book, Mjiyakho had ever written one, I'm telling you, those books would have come here first day. Yes. They would have been here. And then we say, yeah, Mjiyakho came to see you, but there is none. And Mr. Anu, I know you're saying you don't want him to come. I also don't want him to come, but if they can just show me one OB book or visitor's book where Mjiyakho went to visit Ntanzi, I'll be happy. But I believe it never happened. So they will not bring anything, even if the investigating officer can go and try to always, slip through this information again, like, oh, I'm bringing this. You can try it, but I think we're all going to be expert. One more thing that I just wanted, the last point, so that I can give others a chance. I just want to, if it was possible, it's just that it's not possible, but if I was one of those defense lawyers, I would take all those EB books, put them in a table, just maybe 5 or 6 of them. I want to see something, the handwriting that was writing in all those EB books, because to me it looks like one person was writing, and in that person, my suspicion is always Mohane, because Mohane looks like a good guy, it's just that he's surrounded by bad guys. But I think he's a good guy, and you are feeling sorry for Ntanzi when he's being beaten. Is to me, that's my view, and he's a person who could have helped Ntanzi. But I think, judging by what was surrounding him, he was too small to do that. He ended up just complying. So that is just my view, my allegation.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Your view and your allegation. I like that.
And
Thank you.
The point.
People are asking.
It helps
asking
writing down.
crazy questions. Someone is saying, "What would you do if Mjiyakho was to call the?" Oh, we don't know. We wouldn't even notice him.
We'd probably ask him.
He's a ninja, man. We don't know.
We'd probably ask him, like, how did you know that Ntanzi was at that prison? Nakireti. I'm ready.
I'm not ready.
I'm like, how did you know
Ntanzi,
that he
hello.
got arrested?
Ntanzi, hello.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Unjani?
Sikhona njani ma?
Good.
I'm not ready.
Hello?
It's sounding emumva iyaslimaza.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, what I want to say is that Ntanzi has been standing by his evidence, by his statement, by his whatever, but Usibanda has been trying to tackle, and he's trying to find what's wrong with whatever is going on, but he won't find it. Ngoba, it's not there. Whatever he's looking for is not there. So even at the end of the day, with everything that has went on today, after 5 days or 6 days, whatever Spanda is looking for is not there, because there's nothing there.
you know. So what I want to say today is, first of all, Emily, you look beautiful and you're doing a great job. Mr. Anonymous, you're doing a great job as well. But honestly, this South Africa is just a corrupt country.
Yes.
Everything is corrupt.
Yes.
The police are corrupt. The judges are corrupt. The lawyers are corrupt. So the defense lawyers, all they can do is try to protect what they can protect. But I want to say, Ukininda, hey. Ukininda what? Ngoba Ukininda is part of the police that are part of, you know, police minister and whatnot. Just because you're a police minister does not mean you're right or you're in the right place in life or you stand for the truth. Police minister, what truth does he stand for? What truth has that police minister or minister of police, whatever you want to call him, what does he stand for? Nothing. Nothing. So in this case, anyways, Ntanzi, he has stood by his truth. He's not gonna back down, and nobody can make him back down. Even Uspanda, like he's been trying to tackle the untruth out of Ntanzi. Ntanzi is busy saying, "This is my truth. There's no backing down out of my truth." You know? So yeah, that's all I want to say today, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Yes. Remember, guys, we are playing here. All that was said here is alleged. This Juanita chip sounds like Anita from Devon, an advocate. Even his choice of words sounds like someone who's well versed with court terms and procedure. Yes. It's all alleged, and people are going to think some other people are other people. It's okay. We are here. Please like the video. And it's a...
Now you can share your opinion.
I was about to move out, Emily. Then someone calls. Mzansi, hello. Just a minute. Mzansi, hello.
Morning, Emily.
Morning, sir.
Yeah. No, just on my side, I think maybe just a few points. So this case, right? I think so. Right now, we're obviously in a trial within the trial.
Yeah.
So the main thing here is to prove whether the confessions were done freely, voluntarily, sound and sober senses, without any undue influence, etc. Now, if right now, because it seems like the state is done, can we say that, and those elements must be proven by the state beyond reasonable doubt?
Yes.
So, can we say that the state has proven beyond reasonable doubt that those confessions were taken freely, voluntarily, sound and sober senses, without undue influence?
No.
There's too much doubt. There's a lot of doubt.
Yeah.
However, when it comes to the assault, it's different because the defense must prove that beyond reasonable doubt. So the defense it's not the state that must prove that you were not assaulted. It's the defense that must prove that I was assaulted.
Yes.
So that's the portion that in the trial within the trial when it comes to the assault.
Yeah.
So. But in that case, I think still that the defense can prove that it was not sound and sober senses. I mean, they booked him for 2 hours, didn't sleep. He went and wrote a confession in the morning. It would wrap up. So that's not sound and sober senses.
Yes.
I don't think you can say that it's sound and sober senses because he was tired. He had been out the whole day, 17 hours, and so we can an argument can be made about that. And then also with I see also how the state is House Banda's cross-examination. He was obviously trying to trick Ntanzi. He was always trying to just look for. So he wanted him to contradict himself and then use that against him. So he asked different questions as the same question in different ways so that he gives answers that are different and then he can start. So basically now it's about credibility and reliability, right? Because the court must determine whose version is more as the most reasonably possibly true. So that, and then the main things that he's also going to look at is the credibility to say, okay, from all the people that have testified.
Right.
Hello. Okay, what is happening?
Okay, what's up?
So that's what they're trying to. So that's what he was trying to do. So Sibanda, he was trying to attack his credibility, and so that his evidence is not reliable. That's why he was all busy trying to make him contradict himself, and because he wants to argue that you're not a credible witness. Yeah. So, but I think the defense is on track. I just hope Ramusepedi, he does a good job tomorrow and just clearing everything, and then we'll see what's next. I think after this, they might go for argument on Monday. I don't know, because I don't think the defense will want to call anyone else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's all from myself.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sure. I know there are people who are still calling. It was a nice day today. It was very nice. I thought we were going to go in and go out. Thank you very much, guys, for the donation. Thank you for participating. Matilda, thank you, everyone who was on the comments and also sending the WhatsApp messages. We even went the board today. I think we sat for 3 hours. Let's leave it at that. Thank you.
Yeah.